สวัสดีนะคะทุกคน
Minneapolis, make some noise!
Minneapolis, we're here to show ICE that with you and the person next to you, we can shut it down. Ain't that right? I'm going to introduce our first speaker. This is Naomi. Give it up for Naomi!
Good afternoon, Minneapolis! I want you to join me in a variation on the chant we've been doing all the way here. When I say, if we don't get it, I want you to say, strike, strike, strike. If we don't get it. Strike, strike, strike. I said, if we don't get it. Strike, strike, strike. Strike, strike, strike. Strike, strike, strike. That's right, and that's exactly what we did here on Friday. We shut it down on Friday in a general strike. Hundreds of thousands of people across the cities and across the state poured into the downtown to shut it down completely, to demand ICE out of Minnesota, to demand ICE off our streets. I cannot impress upon you enough what an enormous victory that was, because that was the first time in nearly 100 years that a general strike was called for and succeeded, and it succeeded because of all of you. And when we did that, when we made history, the entire eyes of the nation were on us. They wanted to look to us for inspiration and for hope that this tactic, which had not been used in nearly a century, could be done and could win again. And the very next day, we were confronted with an unspeakable tragedy and an unspeakable violence. And whether by coincidence or by intention, we know the message that the Trump administration was trying to send. They wanted to strike back against us and make us feel afraid right after we exercised an enormous amount of power.
ครั้งนี้นะคะก็ protest
And what that means
ประท้วง
now
ให
is
ญ่
that we
ใน
are in a moment of
Minneapolis นะ
struggle,
คะ
where we are now going back and forth against this racist administration to show them that we will not stand for this. Just as the eyes of the nation are on us for
Such a
inspiration,
shame.
they were hoping that we would be scared. They were hoping that it would spread across the rest of the country and people would feel powerless and afraid and alone. But what do we have right here? We have tens of thousands of people hitting the street. We are not afraid. And that's the message that is going out to the rest of the country. We Minnesotans are some of the bravest there. Nothing is too cold. Nothing is too frightening. Our solidarity and our unity is unbeatable. They wanted us to go back. They wanted to turn back
คน
the
ก็
tides of
ประท้วง
possibility with this
อยู่ที่
horrific
Minneapolis
murder.
นะคะ
They wanted the rest of the
Minnesota
country to say
ทางเหนือ
maybe
ขอ
it's
งอ
not
เมริกา
possible for them. But now the momentum we have unleashed is
ใครเข้ามาแล้วก็
unstoppable.
มีคำถามก็ถามได้นะคะ
Anytime
ทัก
the
ทายกัน
Trump
ได้
administration thinks about invading another city with another deployment, they have to wonder, will they be like Minneapolis and do a general strike against us? one-day general strike. And in response to the execution-style murder of Alex Preddy, there is only one response that is appropriate from us as the people, and that is
ไลฟ์นิดนึงนะสวัสดีนะคะ
we are not going to go back. We are going to go forward.
So now Brian is clear. He has everything he needs to manage his content.
And now we have shown that we have the
on what I do
power
best,
to do
sitting in a
a
dark room
one-day
listening to
general
lo-fi music
strike.
and writing content.
And in response
free
to the
trial today on Monday.com,
execution-style
the best
murder
AI
of
work
Alex
platform
Preddy,
for any
there is
team.
only one response that is appropriate from us as the people, and that is strike. Our power as working people is that we make society run. We are the backbone of our economies. We are the neighbors that look out for each other. We are the teachers, the students, the care workers that make everything possible. And so if we want to say that we want ICE out of our communities, we know where our power is, and we can wield it again. This strike needs to spread to other cities. This strike needs to continue right here in the state of Minnesota until we get what we want. The tactic of the general strike is what raises our horizon for what is possible. Several months ago, the idea of a general strike, most people didn't even know unless it came off of a history book. And now hundreds of thousands of us from Friday lived through a general strike. We now know what is possible. And so we must continue to raise the horizon of what can be done, because months ago they said that something like this could not be done. Months ago, there was no clear path forward to fight back against ICE terror. But now we have the path forward to a just future, to an end to this racist administration, to a just world that serves all of us and meets the needs that we have. That is why the general strike is necessary. That is why the strike needs to extend and expand. It is because if we continue to stay unified, if we continue to stand up for each other, we have a world to win for all of us.
What do you mean? World to win for you?
I want to end by talking through this chant that we've been chanting in these streets. It is our duty. It is our right. Strike, strike, strike. It is our duty to stand up for one another. It is our duty to speak out against this racist, violent campaign that is being carried out against our neighbors, against our loved ones. When we say it is our duty, it is because it is only us that is going to stand up. And so we cannot afford to be silent, and we must continue to hit the streets. And the next part is that it is our right. It is our right to strike, because we are the working people that make everything run. We are the people that create all of the wealth of society. It is our right to say that we want to say in how society is run. That is why we will hit the streets until we get justice for Renee, until we get justice for Alex, until the last ICE agent is out of Minnesota.
ICE agent เขาก็ทำที่เขานะ
Now you all know it. Chant with me. It is our duty. It is our right. It is our duty. It is our right. Strike, 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 strike.
กับเมืองจีนไปปะ
Strike! 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 Strike!
ดูเป็นมืออาชีพมากเลยนะคนจีนคนนี้นะก็ฝึกมาดีนะ
Thank you, Minneapolis!
Make some noise for Naomi folks!
คืออะไรอ่ะ
Now Naomi had some words real quick, and I want to extend that into a chant maybe right now. You know what will kick out ice?
ดูเห็นธงไหม F ค้ำ
Minnesota expand the strike!
คนเหล่านี้เนาะแบบว่า
You know what will kick out
ไม่ให้
ice?
เกียรติประธานาธิบดีตัวเองประเทศตัวเองเนาะ
Minnesota expand the strike!
แล้ว
You
ก็ค่อน
know
ข้างรุ
what
นแรง
will
นะ
kick out ice?
เมื่อวานนี้ให้เพื่อนๆดู
Minnesota expand the strike!
ที่แบบคนที่ไปไลฟ์สดที่หน้ากลุ่มประท้วงนะก็โดนทำลายร่างกาย
Minnesota expand the
ตอนนี้ไม่รู้ว่า
strike!
คือตำรวจก็เข้าข้าง
Make
คน
some
ประท้วง
noise,
นะก็เลยไม่
Minneapolis!
รู้
Give
ว่า
it up!
แจ้งความได้ไหมอาการเป็นยังไงบ้างนะหายไปเลยนะคนที่
We've got Doug
แช
here
ร์ไล
for
ฟ์
some
เมื่อวาน
noise! Give it up for Doug!
แย่มากเลยนะ
Hey, I'm going to tell my story again. I'm Doug, again. I'm a U.S. military veteran.
บอกว่าเป็นทหารเก่านะคนนี้ หน้าตาจีนๆเหมือนกันผัวเมียกันเปล่าเมื่อกี้
I know what a detaining looks like for a trained soldier, for trained personnel. I know that happens when you have 6, 7 agents holding somebody down. I know what that looks like. To me, in my opinion, that looks like somebody who is under control. They had Alex under control, in my opinion, right? That's right. Again, I have to be very clear about what I say because I spoke with the BCA to hold him accountable. We need justice in our streets, and there's only one way we're going to get it. We got to expand this strike.
จับเมืองจีนไป
Because people like Alex, military veterans,
น่าจะไปอยู่ประเทศคอมมิวนิสต์นะ
holding it down, saving people's lives at the Minneapolis VA, which is where I get my health care. Saving lives. We need to keep standing up. So all of you out there, we need to honor Alex's memory by not going to work, not shopping, not working, etc.
วันนี้น่าจะ
If
คน
the
เยอะขึ้นนะเพ
billionaires
ราะว่าเป็น
keep
วันอาทิต
funding
ย์คนเยอะ
ICE, Minneapolis general strike. If the billionaires keep funding ICE,
Local tax
Minneapolis general strike.
Today-
Thank you.
They can do your taxes for you.
Give it up for Doug!
Local tax experts are here. Hand off your taxes with confidence.
No more Minnesota nice! Minneapolis will strike! No more Minnesota nice! Minneapolis will strike!
ไม่รู้ว่าวันนี้ทรัมป์จะอ
Give
อก
it up, folks!
กดจับพวกผู้ประท้วงหรือเปล่านะคะ
We've got another
Well,
speaker
fun.
here. Emelina, give it up for Emelina!
Bonjour, all my relatives.
หวังว่าจะไม่มีส
Emelina
งคราม
Disney
กลาง
Cause
เมือง
Makwan Dudem. Miss Kwa Gamiwi Zaga Ingni and
เร็ว
Dunjaba
ๆ
and
นี้
Dog
นะ
Kavi
น่าก
Kong.
ลัวนะ
My name's Emelina.
I'm from the Bear Clan, and I come from the Red Lake Nation, and I live in Minneapolis. Oh my God. I am a student organizer with PL and a proud Red Laker and Mexican American.
Throughout
these past couple of weeks, it has gotten more and more difficult and more scary in school. Not just me feeling this way, but my other peers are feeling this way from the murder of Renee Nicole Good on January 7th. Then after ICE agents had left the scene 8 hours after and then went to Roosevelt High School. They had shot tear gas at students and teachers, and they took away 2 educators.
น้อยอ่ะคนไม่ค่อยออกไปหรอกว่ารัฐอื่นๆไม่รู้เป็นยังไงกันบ้างนะคะอันนี้ดูของทาง Minneapolis
This is the kind of action that ICE has been putting on students that is making us fear going to school and getting the education we were promised. It has been 2 weeks since the murder of Renee Nicole Good, and throughout this past 2 weeks has created chaos and disruption in our community. And so sadly, yesterday they took another life, Alexander Jeffrey Pretty. How many community members, how many neighbors does it have to take for ICE terror to stop in our communities? How many lives does it take to stop causing this ICE terror? The shock and the disbelief after we had our general strike. The first after it hasn't been done in 80 years, we created history. But then the next day, Border Patrol took a life.
ไปขัดขวางเจ้าหน้าที่รัฐอ่ะมันถูกเหรอ
We have to continue the general strike, not just in Minnesota, but in every state, to show we are sick and tired of this ICE terror.
I'm sick and tired of you guys too. What the heck?
Students from every district in Minnesota, students from out of state are walking out of their schools due to this ICE terror.
พี่ๆน้องๆถ้าอยู่อเมริกานะคะช่วย
Everywhere in the United States, this ICE terror has to stop.
คิดเห็นกันยังไงอยากรู้ว่าคนไทยที่อยู่ที่อเมริกา
This ICE terror must end. Chibi Glitch, all my relatives.
จริงๆเหตุประท้วงมันก็คือเหมือนคนก็จ้องรอจะประท้วงกันอยู่แล้วอะนะหาเหตุได้พอดีมีคนตายก็เลยจูงคนออกมาได้เยอะขึ้นเพราะว่าคนมากกว่าครึ่งหนึ่งของประเทศนี้เห็นด้วยกับทางที่จะผลักดันคนที่เข้ามาผิดกฎหมายออกไปนะแต่พอดีเหมือนแบบว่ามีกลุ่มที่แบบขัดขวางการทำงานของเจ้าหน้าที่แล้วมันก็เกิดเหตุเพราะว่ามันปะทะกันอ่ะมันก็ต้องมีเจ็บไม่ก็ตาย2 อย่าง
Minneapolis will strike! 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 Come on! Now as we wrap up here, we got some words from Simon. Can you make some noise for Simon?
พวกอิมิเกรนต์หรือว่าคนที่เข้ามาผิดกฎหมายแล้วมาทำร้ายคนในประเทศตัวเองไม่เห็น
In 2020, after the murder of George Floyd, the only reason Chauvin was arrested is because night after night after night we were in the streets demanding justice.
เกลียดทั้งกันมากกว่านะที่ออกมาเนี่ยเหตุผลหลักๆ
And after the murder of Renee Nicole Good, and once again after another murder at the hands of ICE and CBP, the murder of Alex Brady, we will stay in the streets night after night after
อันนี้
night.
ความคิดเห็นส่วนตัวนะคะเพื่อนๆถ้าไม่เห็นด้วยก็ลองออกความคิดเห็นกันได้นะคะ
And after Friday's historic general strike, whether it was by design or by coincidence, ICE murdered another one of our community members, and they want us to lose our confidence. They want us to cower, and they want us to be afraid.
จะเหมือนแบบว่า
But we refuse.
ให้รัฐบาลปิดทำการอีกแล้วนะคะ ครั้งที่แล้วมาปิด
We
มา
will
มากกว่า
stay in
1
these
เดือนนะคะ
streets until we have
30 กว่า
justice
วันนะ
for Ray, justice for Alex, and justice for every immigrant
คื
family
อ
subjected
พ
to
ยายาม
ICE
ขัง
terror.
รัฐบาลทุกวิถีทางนะก็ไม่รู้เหมือนกันว่าเขาคิดกันยังไง
The
เดือด
Twin
ร้อนนะ
Cities
เดือดร้อน
once again is the epicenter of struggle. And once again, we have set the path for the nation to follow. And that path is one of
You just
general
have to
strike.
follow the law. That's all.
So as we close tonight, I want you all to make the commitment that you will
แค่
stay
ทำตา
in
ม
these
กฎห
streets
มายอ่ะมัน
and
ก็
you
ไม่
will
เกิด
bring
ปัญหา
your
แล้วจ้า
friends, your family, your co-workers, every single person in your life to join you. And after moments of police violence, we have a choice.
Shut up.
We have a choice to stay inside and to be afraid, or we have a choice to stay in these streets together.
ก็อยู่ได้ประท้วงได้นะจริงๆแล้วมัน
And if
ก็
you are not yet
ตามหลัก
plugged
ประ
into
ชาธิปไตย
organizing
ก็ประ
efforts,
ชาชนก็มี
join
สิทธิ์ป
us
ระท้วง
tonight, right after this, at 5 p.m.
ความ
at
คิดเห็นเราคือ
University Baptist Church,
ไปขัดขวางเจ้าหน้า
1219
ที่
University Avenue
มัน
Southeast,
ถูกเหรอ
to join us in this
แค่นั้นเอง
struggle and
ไม่ได้
to make
ไม่ได้
this
มีปัญหา
general
เกี่ยวกับ
strike
ว่า
go
ออกมาประท้วงมีปัญ
nationwide.
หาแค่ขัดขวางเจ้าหน้าที่ขัดขวางการทำงาน
When
ของ
I
เจ้าหน้า
ask
ที่
what do we
ตำรวจ
want, you're gonna say ICE out. What do we want? ICE out. When do we want it? What do we want? ICE out. When do
นี่
we
ก็เห
want
มือน
it?
แบบ
What do we want?
อยากได้อะไร อยากให้ไอออกไป
What do we want? When
บิ
do
ว
we want
บิว
it?
ผู้ชุมนุม
See you all at 5 p.m. University Baptist Church.
Shut up ข้างหลังเจ้าหน้าที่ก็มายืนคุมสถานการณ์นะคะเพราะว่ากลัวเกิดเหตุ
Massive
รุน
crowd.
แร
There
ง
were
เนาะ
thousands that came out. I'd say about 5,000, 3,000 to 5,000 people ended up coming
จ
out
ริงๆแล้ว
marching
ถ้า
over here by First
รั
Avenue,
ฐ
right
บาล
outside
เขา
the
จะปราบ
Target
จ
Center.
ริงๆอ่ะเขาก็ปราบได้เนาะแต่ว่าเขายัง
Protests continue, guys.
ไม่ได้ทำแต่ก็คือ
And
ข่าว
they're
อ
going
อก
to
มา
continue no
ก็รุ
matter
นแร
what
ง
the
เพ
weather
ราะ
is.
ว่า
I mean, it was already
เหมือนคนชุมนุม
30 degrees
มัน
colder
แรง
than
ข
this.
นาด
Some
แค่
people
คน
were
ไป
out in
ถ่ายท
mass. You know, it's
ำ
only
ไล
going to
ฟ์
get
วิ
warmer.
ดีโอเมื่อวานนะคะก็ถูกทำร้ายตามไปถึงที่รถเลยนะคะไปทำร้ายต่อยปากแตกหน้าบวมไปหมดเลย
It's cold, but this
เมื่อวาน
is
เราก็ดูไลฟ์
bearable.
คนนี้อยู่ทั้งวันนะพอตกเย็นเนี่ย
These are the scenes downtown
เหมือนมัน
Minneapolis
จับ
right
ได้
now.
ว่า
First
ไม่
Avenue,
ใช่คนในกลุ่มผู้ชุม
the
นุม
Target Center.
ก็เดินตามคนนี้ไปพอเขานั่งอยู่ในรถก็กำลังพูดคุยนะคะก็พูดคุยกับคนในไลฟ์สดอ่ะก็โดนลากกระชากออกไปแล้วก็ต่อยกันที่ข้างรถเห็นสดๆในไลฟ์เลยนะคะก็นี่มันก็แสดงถึงว่าอะไรอ่ะคืออยากเป็นประชาธิปไตยแต่ตัวเองไม่เป็นประชาธิปไตย
Peaceful observer,
เขา
don't
ก็มี
shoot.
สิทธิ์เข้าไปในนั้นไปถ่ายทำไปดูมันก็
All right. The good news is I just have to walk down this road straight.
ตัวเองอยากได้ประชาธิปไตยแต่ไม่เป็นประชาธิปไตยอยากได้สปีด
Camera around. All right, all right.
หวังว่าคนนี้จะไม่โดนอะไรนะ
Well, that was coverage downtown Minneapolis here, you guys. Showing the speakers, the protests, the march. I'm going to utilize this lack of vehicles to walk faster. There's even still people like that. It's over, but there's still people on the sidewalk here outside of Kieran's
อยากดูว่าคนเยอะขนาดไหนนะ
here.
เมื่อวานนี้คนเยอะไม่รู้ว่าวันนี้ตกเย็นเราจะอาจจะต้องดูตอนเย็นอีกทีนึงว่าเยอะขนาดไหนเพราะส่วนมากคนจะเหมือนออกมาช้าวันนี้ก็อากาศเย็นนะ ทางเหนือแล้วก็ลงไปถึงเท็กซัสฟลอริดาเขาบอกว่าจะมีพายุหิมะนะก็ดูคนแต่งตัวก็น่าจะหนาวแหละเมื่อวานนี้10 ฟาเรนไฮต์เนาะติดลบอากาศ
So now I don't think people are just going to where they're parked or their vehicles. The march is over, but look how many people there are. I mean, it's like actually what it looks like after a sporting event. You got massive crowds coming out, but it's a protest. It ended at the Target Center. There's no more speakers or any planned anything. But that's a lot of people that they have to go get to their vehicles or go home. So looks like the ending of a Vikings game or at Timberwolves coming out of the Target Center.
หลายวันที่ผ่านมามันก็แก้ปัญตาเนาะกลับบ้านไปปะ
Big section of the crowd coming across.
มีป้ายก็เขียนว่า Ice Out นะเหมือนไล่ไอให้ออกไปนะไอก็คือหน่วยงานที่เป็นตำรวจตรวจคนเข้าเมืองของอเมริกานะคะเป็นชื่อหน่วยงานชื่อเต็มๆก็คือนี่ไปเสิร์ชหามานะ U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement นะก็คือเขาทำหน้าที่จับตัวคนเข้าเมืองโดยตรงเนาะที่คนที่เข้ามาประเทศอย่างผิดกฎหมายเขาก็ต้องเอาออกไปนึกถึงว่าเป็นบ้านเราเนาะเขมรเข้ามาแย่งคนไทยทำงานมาอะไรอย่างเงี้ยเนาะเราก็พยายามปราบปรามผลักดันกับประเทศมันก็ถูกต้องแล้วไม่ใช่เหรอคืองงอ่ะมีบางคนบอกว่าโอ๊ยมันถูกแต่วิธีการผิดเขาก็ทำแบบนี้มาตลอดนะคะหน่วยงานนี้เขาไม่ได้เปลี่ยนวิธีการทำงานนะคะเขาทำงานกันแบบนี้มาตลอดคือจับคนซึ่งการจับคนเนี่ยเหมือนตำรวจจับโจรอ่ะจับผู้ร้ายสมมติอันนี้ยกตัวอย่างนะครับผู้ร้ายก็ต้องหนีใช่ไหมถ้าไม่หนีต่อสู้อะไรอย่างนี้ใช่ไหมมันก็ต้องมีการไล่จับมีการใช้กำลังบ้างก็เขาก็ทำตามหลักของเขาแต่ประชาชนคนอเมริกันนี่แหละที่สร้างปัญหานะคะก็คือไปขัดขวางเจ้าหน้าที่ มันก็เลยเกิดเหตุปะทะแล้วทำให้คนตายจะโทษเจ้าหน้าที่อย่างเดียวมันก็ไม่ได้ถ้าคุณไม่ใช้ความรุนแรงก่อนหรือว่าใช้วิธีที่แบบ
Protests will continue. This isn't going anywhere.
แท็กว่าเจ้าหน้าที่อยู่ที่ไหนแล้วก็ให้ข่าวกัน
covering any ICE activity in the Twin Cities during the daytime.
บางคนเนี่ย
And then continue protests we can, you know, during the daytime or wherever they're at.
ไปก่อเจ้าหน้าที่ถึงที่บ้านเลยนะคะเพราะว่าเขาดอกซิ่งไงคือตามไปทุกที่แล้วก็เหมือนไปด่าอะไรอย่างเงี้ยแบบไปเขาเรียกอะไรอ่ะ
So I appreciate everybody for tuning in.
harassment
Thank you so much for watching. Hit the like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't. Follow on Facebook. Do all this stuff. Twitch will be back tomorrow. It's an easy one for trolls to brigade and give me a 1-day suspension. So they did that or whatever. But YouTube's still up and we got everything else. I appreciate all you guys' support from Mercado Media. In the Discord server link is in the description. If you haven't done so, I'll see you guys on the next one.
แต่ถ้าแพ้
Take
ก็
care.
ต้องยอม
Live
รับ
from
ว่าคน
downtown
กว่า
Minneapolis
ครึ่
to
ง
Andrew
ประเทศ
Mercado from Mercado
เขาอยา
Media.
กให้
See you guys on the
คน
next one.
เข้ามาผิดกฎหมายออกไปก็ต้องยอมรับถ้าคุณเป็นประชาธิปไตยประเทศเป็นประชาธิปไตยจะประท้วงอะไรนะงงมากให้ดูอีกไลน์นะ
Hey everybody, a business is never easy, but with GoDaddy Arrow, that endeavor is about to become
เมื่อกี้เหมือนบางกลุ่มก็เดินกลับไปอาจจะแบบพักเบรกกินข้าวกินปลาอาจจะมาเริ่มกันใหม่นะเพราะว่าไม่เลิกกันง่ายๆหรอกดูแล้วอะทางมินนีแอโพลิสกี่โมงทางโคโลราโดตอนนี้โทษทีตอนนี้บ่าย 2:18 นะคะ
You can walk wherever you want to. We're not gonna. We can buy you too.
ทางมินนีแอโพลิส 3:19 บ่าย 3คนอาจจะไปพักเบรกกินข้าวกินปลาเนาะเนี่ยถ้าสมมติเหตุการณ์แบบประท้วงแล้วก็มายืนรวมตัวกันสงบแบบนี้นะแบบที่เห็นอยู่เนี่ยคือสงบก็แค่ร้องเพลงประท้วงอ่ะคือแสดงออกรักว่าโอเคมันก็สวยงามดีนะว่าเราไม่เห็นด้วยแล้วก็ออกไปแต่สิ่งที่รักเห็นที่ผ่านมาคือมันรุนแรงอ่ะรุนแรงทั้งกับเจ้าหน้าที่ที่เขามาทำงานด้วยนะแล้วก็รุนแรงกับเพื่อนร่วมประเทศด้วยกันอ่ะแค่ไม่ต้องพูดว่าไม่เห็นด้วยนะแค่ไม่พูดว่าเห็นด้วยกับกลุ่มประท้วงอ่ะแค่พวกเขาก็ฮาราสใส่แล้วนะคือแบบด่าเลยนะแบบไล่แล้วก็กล่าวหาว่าเขาเป็นพวกเหมือนเข้าข้างธรรมทั้งที่เขาไม่ได้บอกว่าเห็นด้วยหรือไม่เห็นด้วยงงเฉยๆก็ไม่ได้งงกับความคิดมากเลยนะ
Try my best. You know, it's a blur.
is this the safety?
เนี่ยถ้าประท้วงแบบนี้ก็โอเคนะไม่ได้แย่มากแต่มันไม่ใช่แค่นี้ไงมันแบบรุนแรงเนาะ
This one looks like a fighter.
Wish I could put the mask on. Yeah, I'm ready. Maybe one more interview and then just kind of chill for a second.
ดูมาดูอีกจุดหนึ่งนะคะเพราะเดี๋ยวรักแชร์ให้ดูอีกกล้องนึงนะคะเริ่มวุ่นวายนะตำรวจก็ใช้แก๊สน้ำตานะคะอยู่ช่องนี้เสียงไม่รู้ว่าเกิดอะไรขึ้นนะคะตอนนี้ก็ตำรวจก็ใช้ทั้งแก๊สน้ำตาใช้สเปรย์พ่นอะไรอย่างเงี้ยนะตอนนี้คือถ้าใครให้สนับสนุนทางฝั่งของผู้ประท้วงเขาบอกว่าก็เริ่มมีข่าวออกมาว่าเหมือนโดนบล็อกอะคนจะไม่ค่อยเห็นฟีดไลฟ์สดนี่ข่าวจาก CNN เนี่ยก็คือจะทำให้เห็นแต่มุมที่แบบเหมือนตำรวจร้ายอ่ะนึกออกไหมคือเสนอข่าวแบบว่ามุมที่แบบว่าให้ตำรวจดูร้ายอ่ะที่รักโชว์อย่างเนี้ยนะใช้กำลังใส่ประชาชนอะไรของน้องไม่รู้ว่าเขาเอาภาพตอนไหนมานะเพราะว่าตอนเนี้ยที่ไลฟ์สดที่ประชาชนไลฟ์สดอยู่ก็คือเมื่อกี้ที่รักโชว์มันดูสงบอยู่นะมันไม่ได้มีเหตุการณ์แบบแก๊สหรืออะไรอย่างเงี้ยเดี๋ยวดูอีกคนหนึ่งที่เขาไลฟ์สดจริงๆดีกว่าเนาะเพราะว่า CNN ข่าวปลอมบอกเลยพยายามอย่าไปดู CNNเดี๋ยวหาคนที่เขาไลฟ์สดจริงๆอยู่ที่หน้างานจริงๆดีกว่านะคนนี้อยู่หน้าไลฟ์สดแต่มันขึ้นโฆษณา
Bet those weight loss meds ain't FDA approved.
Smells like snake oil to me.
Are you good, bro? You good? Good.
Oh, sure.
เขากลับมาแล้วนะไม่มี
We're grateful that you even like.
นี่คือสถานการณ์จริงนะก็คือมีนิดหน่อยแหละแต่เมื่อกี้ภาพ CNN เห็นไหมคือแล้วมันทำให้บิวคนแบบโหตำรวจร้ายมาก
Hi, John. What up, guys? What up, guys?
หัวเลิกดู CNN ละ
All right, let's go.
อันนี้คนชุมนุมกำลังเอาถังขยะนะมาเรียงกันเป็นเหมือนกำแพงกัน
Good morning. Good morning.
New York's in the house.
New York in the
ซึ่ง
house.
เป็นหลักการเดียวของกับมนุษย์เวลาตัวเอง
For real, huh?
เหมือนจับจองที่อ่ะสมมติเราออกไปทุ่งหญ้าแล้วเขาให้จับจองที่สิ่งแรกที่เราจะทำคืออะไรคะสร้างกำแพงใช่ไหมหรือว่าสร้างแนวกั้นใช่ไหมว่าอันนี้คือเขตของฉันคือหลักการเดียวกับการสร้างประเทศมีกำแพงเพื่อไม่ให้คนอื่นที่เหมือนแบบคนจะเข้าบ้านเราอะถ้าเราเปิดประตูกว้างไว้เลยใครจะเดินเข้าหรือออกก็
Rental
ได้อ
cars
ย่างนี้หรอ
messing with John.
Yeah, somebody's trying to stop me from doing my
ก็ไม่
work.
ถูกใช่ป่ะเรามีกำแพงมีเขตกั้นประเทศเพราะว่าเราก็ต้องการอยากรู้ว่าใครเข้าบ้านเราบ้าง
And then, John, you're taking a rest for a week, right? Or whatever.
Yeah.
ใครจะเข้าบ้านเราก็อยากรู้ข้อมูลว่าเขาคือใครอยู่ๆจะให้เข้ามาเราไม่รู้ประวัติมันก็ไม่ได้แล้วผู้ชุมนุมไม่เห็นด้วย
It's
กับ
like
การ
R&R, like you're in the military.
เรื่องอิมิเกรนต์หรือว่าเรื่อง
Need a little break.
คนที่เข้ามาอยู่ในประเทศนี้อย่างผิดกฎหมายเราเอาถังขยะมากั้นเขตทำไม
You guys want this?
Oh, you
มัน
guys
คือเหตุหลักการเดียวกันใช่ไหมว่าไม่อยากให้ไอ้หรือว่าตำรวจ
yeah, put that in for me. I got some foot warmers.
ถังขยะกั้นเขตถังขยะไว้สแกมแบ็ก
Good news is we're above zero today.
สแกมแบ็กเบนสมองไปหมดแล้ว
Fucking, did you see BG was live for like 14 hours yesterday? Really? He was out there all day.
คนด่าตำรวจ
I don't know how
the police breaking down the barricades.
Yeah, and then he was up this morning too. An absolute
ตะโกน
psychopath.
ด่า
BG was out there all day. He was out there in this when you guys were getting gas and stayed live. He was out there all night.
นี่ก็ดูวิวเมืองมินนิอาโพลิสไปกับคนที่เขาไลฟ์สดด้วย
So the
นะคะ
BCA can start
นี่
their
เขาผ่าน
BCA
ให้ดูเนาะคือ
That's
มัน
the
ไม่ได้
update
ว่า
chat. BCA was out on scene this
ทุกคน
morning.
ใน
They
เมือง
obviously
มินนิ
they
อา
had
โพ
to
ลิ
take
ส
those
ประ
barricades
ท้วง
down so they
นะคะ
could do
ก็
their
มีแค่กลุ่ม
investigation.
นั้นแหละ
There'll
ที่ว่า
still
ไม่
be
เห็น
a.
ด้วยนะ
I mean, in Minneapolis at least we've seen multiple respected vigil sites.
อ๋อ
So I believe that will continue.
มีอยู่ประมาณเดี๋ยวให้ดูนะคะ
So that's the Bureau
Of criminal apprehension, yeah. It's kind of like our state feds, if you will, I guess.
From what I heard, like the community was out there too, and they're talking with them.
Yep.
Giving them info, I guess.
Yep. They were working with them, which I've never seen. I was watching videos. I didn't get out there today.
ใจ
And I
รัก
also
คื
saw
อ
BG.
ก็คือออก
I've
มา
never
ประท้วง
seen
ทันกันอะ
like
ไม่ชอบ
locals
ท
working alongside the
ก็เลย
BCA
ทำ
like that just to help them.
ำให้มันเป็นเรื่องเป็นราวเป็นใหญ่เป็นโต เพราะว่าขัดขวางการทำงานของทำไปด้วย
Oh,
นะ
he's got a. Oh, that's right. He's got an additional streamer, huh? Right. See, Chad, if I had an additional streamer, we'd be going. I just do shifts. Get Mercado Live out there all nonstop. That's what it takes. You guys get a cool view of the Viking Stadium. Very Paul Allen though. Very disappointed in Paul Allen, and I hope he on all that. I don't know if he will. You said hire John. I don't know. I think Jordan would appreciate that, y'all.
Jordan wants to hire you so I can go get a job.
Oh, Jordan says they want to hire me on.
Yeah,
See,
he's like, what about Andrew? No, but Will's coming back.
yeah, we got Will. Will's so good too. You know?
And Tina's landing at 3.
Okay.
So she'll be here today.
Paul Allen, he's a voice of the Vikings. He's a very, very popular, well known because he's so passionate about the team, and I mean that's true. But his take was that he was doing paid protester nonsense on his podcast.
Build a website you love with Wix, where your words
โฆษณาอีกแล้วนะ
create
สวัสดีทุกคนนะคะ พรรคก็พยายามหาข้อมูลดูอันนี้คือเหตุการณ์ที่ว่าทำให้คนออกมาประท้วงชุมนุมกันเพราะว่าคนนี้ตายนะคะตำรวจพยายามจับแล้วก็มีคนตายเนาะคนที่นอนอยู่ที่ตำรวจกำลังลุมจับเนี่ยคือพกปืนมานะแล้วคนยิงตายนะคะก็เลยทำให้คนมาออกมาประชุมชุมนุมกันเยอะมากขึ้น
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!
คือคำถามที่อยู่ในหัวรักเวลาดูนะคะก็ทำไมมันถึงมาถึงจุดที่ว่าต้องเกิดเหตุการณ์เศร้าทำไมตอนตำรวจบอกว่าหยุดหรือไม่ให้ทำทำไมขัดขืนมันคืออะไรทำไมต้องขัดขืนทำไมต้องสู้ตำรวจไม่เข้าใจช่วยบอกหน่อยถ้าเป็นมนุษย์ประชาชนคนธรรมดาแบบเราอ่ะตำรวจบอกเราทุกชนเราก็หยิบบัตรประชาชนให้ดูมันทำไมถึงต้องเกิดเหตุทำไมต้องสู้กันอยู่เข้าใจอ่ะทำไมต้องขัดขืนทำไมต้องแบบกูเก่งอะไรอย่างเงี้ยแล้วมีการพกปืนไปซึ่งในรัฐมินนิโซตาถ้าอนุญาตให้พกปืนได้ถ้ามีใบอนุญาตแล้วตอนที่เขาจับเนี่ยก็คือไม่เจอ1ไม่มีใบบัตรประชาชน2ไม่มีใบอนุญาตไม่ได้บอกว่าตำรวจถูกต้องทุกอย่างนะแต่มันพลาดได้ไงแล้วทำไมจะต้องทำให้พลาดด้วยมันคือชีวิตแล้วมีลูกมีเต้าหรือเปล่าไม่หรอโอ้ยเดี๋ยวให้ดูสำหรับคนที่เขาเชียร์ทำก็มีเขาเชียร์เพราะว่าแต่ละวันนะก็อย่างที่บอกนะคนเดิมนะเจ้าหน้าที่คนเดิมสมัยโอบามาได้รางวัลด้วยจ้าได้รางวัลทอมท่านได้รางวัลด้วยจ้าดูนะจ๊ะได้รางวัลจากโอบามานะจ๊ะจับคนออกนอกประเทศนะคะแล้วตอนนี้มันคืออะไรงงมากเลยอ่ะโอเคตอนนี้เหมือนตำรวจเริ่มใช้แก๊สน้ำตาไล่คนเยอะขึ้นแล้วนะเดี๋ยวเราแชร์ไลฟ์คนที่เมื่อกี้นะคะที่เขาไลฟ์สดอยู่อันนี้กล้อง1กล้อง2กล้องที่เขาขับรถเขาก็สำรวจอยู่ทั่วเมืองเลยเนาะอันนี้ป้ายเขาบอกว่า no one is illegal on stolen land ประเทศนี้แปลกมากทำสัญชาติตัวเองให้เกียรติคนขาวให้เกียรติคนผิวขาวคือถ้าเป็นเราสมมติเราเป็นประเทศไทยอย่างเงี้ยใช่ไหมบอกว่าให้เกียรติประวัติศาสตร์ของตัวเองอะที่ตัวเองมาตั้งรกรากอยู่ที่นี่อะไรเงี้ยอันนี้เราพูดแบบยกตัวอย่างเฉยๆนะไม่ได้เป็นเรื่องจริงอะไรเหมือนเกียรติว่าให้เกียรติกษัตริย์หรือเกียรติชาติเกียรติคนในถ้าพูดง่ายๆก็เหมือนจะเป็นบ่อนทำลายอ่ะให้ประเทศเนี่ยไม่มีอะไรno limit อ่ะไม่มีลิมิตชีวิตเกิน100เป็นของใครก็ได้ใครอยากเข้ามาก็ได้ใครเข้าใจความ คิดเห็นในส่วนนี้นะยังไม่เก็ตยังไม่ได้แบบว่าเก็ตว่าเขาต้องการอะไรกันแน่นะ
people who we don't know anything about and a picture of a firearm to try and spin a narrative. And I just
Texas was feeling unwanted. Now Texas is an open door to new.
Any confidence Donald Trump will do the right thing? No, I don't have a lot of confidence Donald Trump will do the right thing. I do have a lot of confidence that the majority of the American people will do the right thing. And I think there cannot be very many people across this country looking right now, after all the reporting that's been done, after everything that's been said under the pretense that they are here about immigration reform, and quit referring to these people as law enforcement. They're not law enforcement. We have law enforcement who do an incredible job. And to listen to Greg Bobino denigrate the work of our people who are out there cleaning up their mess, no, I don't have a lot of confidence that he himself will do it. But here's what I do have confidence in. There's a whole lot of Republicans, for whatever reason, but they might find the ability to know that they're not going to win another election as long as they live, unless they stand up for what's right, and stand up for the rule of law, and stand up for human decency, and that's the moment.
Just to follow up, because then if that is not the case, what are the people in Minnesota supposed to do who are in the middle right now? Because
ก็เลยเหมือนบิ้วคนให้ออกมาประท้วงตั้งแต่วันแรกๆเนาะที่แบบ
you're trying to investigate, is that forcing
Yeah, no, it's a good question. And look, I speak.
แต่พอมันมีคนตามมันก็เลย
I hear that scream from you,
เหมือนจุดชนวนได้
I'll
สำเร็จ
continue to plead and ask for peace. And I know the answer is you ask us for peace and we give it, and we get shot in the face on the streets coming out of a donut shop. We cannot give them what they want. I don't know how to say this in so many terms to watch the madness that we've witnessed over this last week coming out of the White House and what it's doing here. My confidence is, and I say it to Minnesotans, as I've said, exercise your First Amendment rights, speak out, bear witness and document legally. But I understand the risk in that. And I understand the courage that it takes to have people out there doing this. Thank God. According to DHS, these 7 heroic guys took an onslaught of a nonsense, people. It is nonsense and it's lies. So my confidence is Minnesotans. You know who you are, and you demonstrate it every single day, and we damn sure know who these people are. The American public knows, and this needs to be the event that says enough.
Excuse me.
อันนี้ก็เอาถังขยะเป็นกองไปแล้วนะ อันนี้ของนี่น่าจะให้ดูนี่เป็นฝั่งทางตำรวจเนาะตรงจุดที่มีปัญหาเมื่อวานคนที่โดนยิงตายก็คืออยู่บริเวณนี้นะคะ ซึ่งทำไมตำรวจก็คือเข้าไปทำเขาเรียกอะไรอะที่จะต้องทำความสะอาดครามซีนอะแล้วก็นิ้วมือไปทำประวัติอะไรอย่างเงี้ยปรากฏว่าตำรวจทำไม่ได้นะคะเพราะว่าคนประท้วงก็คืออยู่ตรงนั้นอะไม่ยอมออกไปเนาะป่านนี้หลักฐานหลักเถินอะไรที่มันเป็นลายนิ้วมือหรือเลือดหรืออะไรเนี้ยไปหมดแล้วโดนเหยียบไปหมดแล้วไม่รู้ไม่มีเสียงนะช่วงนี้ อ๋อที่ไม่มีเสียงเพราะเราปิดเสียงงงปิดเสียงเองระบบเขาไม่มีเสียงวันนี้ผู้ชุมนุมเดินเข้ามาเหรอหรือว่าทหารทหารตำรวจเมื่อช่วงเมื่อวานเย็นเกือบมืดแล้วนะคะทีมวอลส์ก็ส่ง National Guard เข้ามาไม่รู้ช่วยยังไงเนาะแต่ช่วยให้สงบหมายความว่าช่วยเคลียร์พื้นที่หรือยังไงช่วยคุมการหรือยังไงยังหวั่นอยู่นะคะเพราะว่าเรียก National Guard ออกมาแล้วถ้ามาสู้กับตำรวจของรัฐบาลกลางเนี่ยมันคือสงครามกลางเมืองนะที่รอดูวันนี้ก็คือจะมีสงครามกลางเมืองไหมนะเหมือนตำรวจรัฐกับตำรวจในรัฐมินนิโซตากับตำรวจรัฐบาลกลางสู้กันอย่างเงี้ยก็คือสงครามกลางเมืองเลยนะหวังว่าจะไม่ถึงจุดนั้นนะคะทุกคนตำรวจของรัฐก็คือรัฐจ้างตำรวจของตัวเองทหารของตัวเองแล้วรัฐบาลกลางก็เหมือนจริงๆถ้าเป็นพวกเดียวกันใช่ไหมคนประเทศเดียวกันมันมีเหตุการณ์ตรงนี้เหมือนช่วยกันใช่ไหมมันก็ไม่เกิดไงเห็นตรงกันว่าควรจะปราบปรามหรือเห็นตรงกันว่าควรจะทำแบบนี้มันก็ไปทางเดียวกันแต่ในกรณีนี้คือทางรัฐมินนิโซตาหัวหน้าทีมของมินนิโซตาไม่เห็นด้วยหัวหน้าทีมมีทั้งตำรวจมีทั้งทหารเป็นของตัวเองสู้กับรัฐบาลกลางสู้กับทรัมป์มันก็เลยเกิดแบบนี้นะคะกลัวว่าถ้าตำรวจทั้งสองฝั่งถ้าหวังว่าจะไม่เกิดนะแต่ถ้ามันเกิดคือปะทะกันก็คือสงครามกลางเมืองซีวิลวอร์นะเรียกซีวิลวอร์มีประชาชนอยู่หลังเส้นเหลืองตำรวจอยู่ฝั่งนั้นเราดูไม่ออกว่าอันนี้มันเป็นตำรวจของรัฐบาลกลางหรือเป็น National Guard นะคะตอนนี้มันคือจริงเขาก็ใส่ยูนิฟอร์มคล้ายๆกันไม่แน่ใจว่าอันนี้คือตำรวจฝั่งไหนนะตอนนี้ผู้ชุมนุมมีแค่นี้เองเหรอหรือว่าอยู่ข้างหลังก็ไม่รู้นะนี่ไงเขาแพนกล้องไปแล้วเห็นไล่คือถ้าผู้ชุมนุมเนี่ยล้ำเขตสีเหลืองก็คือจะโดนแบบนี้เนาะ ก็คือเขตสีเหลืองที่ตำรวจกั้นไว้นะคะเอาแล้วโอ้ยเอาแล้วนะคะตอนนี้ก็น่าจะโดนปราบนะคิดว่าทำอาจจะสั่งลงมาแล้วว่าให้ปราบนะไม่หยุดนะก็คือเต็มที่เลยเปิดไฟเขียวนะคะเปิดไฟเขียวว่าให้จัดการได้นะคืออะไรอ่ะรักไม่ได้เปลี่ยนช่องนะงงหรือว่ามันตอนนี้คือไม่รู้ว่าใช่ไลฟ์สดหรือเปล่า
Yeah, so the clergy people, they were intending to be able to go past this border kind of situation that's happening here because they wanted to be able to go inside to Broadview and, you know, counsel the people in there, just like you would be able to in a prison or jail. Like there's people that are able to go in and be with the inmates and counsel them. It's a human right, and it's a First Amendment right, honestly. So freedom of religion, freedom of speech, assembly, all that. So we're just
freedom of religion.
Right?
So
they were trying to go, and pretty much immediately, all these cops, officers, they tried to stop it. And to be honest with you, they were prepared long ago. You could feel the fear and panic that they felt. It was palpable because we were all kind of singing around here, and they were tense. They were back to back. You know, they were on guard, and we're trying to get them to understand we're not the enemy. We need to go put our attention to ICE and what's going on in there. We are just
เพื่อนๆนึกสภาพเนอะสมมติเราสวดมนต์กันอยู่พระกำลังสวดคนประท้วงเข้าบุกวัดแล้วก็มาเยี่ยวประท้วงวัด
And it's kind of long, so I try to point out the points that are most prevalent around. And I pledge to be honest in thought, word, and
สิ่งที่เขาเข้าไปประท้วงที่โบสถ์ก็คือแต่งตัวคือสวยอยู่สบายใส่สูทถูกไทยทำไมไม่ออกไปช่วยชาวเพื่อนที่โดนจับไอ้พวกที่ผิดกฎหมายนั่นแหละทำไมไม่ออกไปช่วยคนผิดกฎหมายงงลอจิกไหม
I saw people getting pushed. We're told to back up. Like our freedoms are not here right now.
What's your name?
Amy.
Amy, thank you so much. I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Hey, how's it going?
Shut up.
ICE need to do their job. ICE need to do their job. It's not right.
ไปดูอะไรสนุกครับบางคนเขาก็ทำคลิปออกมาอันนี้เป็น AI นะคะขับรถไอนะขำๆนะเดี๋ยวนี้ AI ก็ทำเสมือนเลยนะดูไม่ออกเลยตกลงมัน AI หรือมันไม่ AI ก็ไม่อยากเปิดเพลงเยอะแล้วไม่รู้หรือเปล่าเมื่อกี้โดนเลยหรือเปล่าไม่รู้ Ice Baby อะโอ้ขำดีเลยแก้เครียดแบบนั้นไม่รู้วันนี้มีข่าวอะไรใหม่ไหมวันนี้เจ้าหน้าที่ไอซ์เตรียมตัวทำงานกันนะมีอาหาร กาแฟเมื่อกี้เขาบอกว่า almost Valentine Day แล้วนะ ดูทีมวอลนะคะอ้าวไม่ได้แชร์เหรอขอโทษโอ้ยเนาะเมื่อกี้เลยไม่ได้ดูเลยค่ะช้ำขับรถไอซ์เดี๋ยวแชร์ใหม่ขอโทษไม่ได้แชร์งงนึกว่าแชร์หน้าจอแล้วนะคะ
Oftentimes talk about this, and I know people are discussing this a lot. I spent a lot of time with John Lewis on nonviolent resistance. The resistance matters. We're not telling people to be silent, but we're not telling people to go out and trouble.
ไม่อยากว่าบอกว่าทีมวอล just few day ago was climbingปีนรั้วบอกว่า this mention นะ mention ของเขาเนี่ย urging protester to be
But if you don't speak up, they will torture us and forget about us. The idea is right now is we have to speak up. We have to go in.
causing problem ก็คือเหมือนแบบว่ายังไงก็ได้ล่ะให้ก่อกวนไอ้น่ะ
We're winning it because we're doing it with Minnesota grit, Minnesota humor, Minnesota decency.
แล้วก็
Oftentimes talk about this, and I know people are discussing this a lot. I spent a lot of time with John Lewis on nonviolent resistance.
เข้าไปใน
The
เหตุ
resistance
การณ์
matters. We're not telling people to be silent.
หมาย
But
ควา
we're
มว่า
not
อะไร
telling
อ่ะ
people to go out and cause problems.
มัน
We're
ใช่
going
เหร
to
อ
cause
สนับ
good
สนุน
trouble.
แบบนี้เหรอ
Served on
เครียดนะอันนี้ก็คือคนค่อนข้างเห็นด้วยตรงกันอย่างหนึ่งก็คือเหมือนเขาใช้เหตุการณ์เนี้ยมากลบเกลื่อนเรื่องที่ช่อโกงอยู่นะ19 บิลเลียนนะ19 บิลเลียนนี่ก็ทำเป็นคลิปตลกนะคะขอบเงินเป็นหนีเลยนะคือการเอามาจะจับสักทีแบบทำไมมันช้าขนาดนี้ไม่ทันใจเลยอยากให้จับอยากให้ดูคลิปนะไอคนใส่เสื้อสีชมพูกระเป๋าเป้สีชมพูเนาะไปทำเหมือนขวางรถซึ่งคนเนี้ยเขาเป็นประชาชนธรรมดาเนี่ยแหละขับรถมาแล้วก็ไม่รู้มันไอหรือเปล่านะเพราะว่าเขาใส่ฮูดที่เป็นลายพรางอ่ะเหมือนเป็นตำรวจอ่ะไปดูไหนตรงเนี่ยเหมือนแบบจะขวางแล้วก็กระจกรถเอามีไม้มีอะไรไปทุบกระจกรถเขานะเขาก็เลยลงมาจากรถนะแล้วก็สอยซะร่วมเลยนะเขาเป็นคนธรรมดาเฉยๆเนี่ยคือถ้าใส่เสื้อผ้าเพื่อนๆก็ระวังนะไม่ใส่ชุดลายพรางทหารอย่างนี้นะคะเขาอาจจะเข้าใจเราผิดนะว่าเหมือนเพราะคือสมองคนพวกนี้เขาปกติหรือเปล่าหรือวันก่อนนะคะมีผู้หญิงเดี๋ยวจะลองหาคลิปนะว่าเจอไหมมีผู้หญิงใส่เสื้อที่แล้วข้างหน้าฮูดดี้เนี่ยเป็นลายธงชาติอเมริกานะคะก็โดนเหมือนกันเดินตามมาแล้วก็เหมือนด่าจนผู้หญิงเขาก็ตอบดีๆเนาะแล้วก็เขาเรียกลูกเขาก็ออกมาลูกผู้ชายเหมือนแบบ ทำไมมาจะมาทำอะไรกับแม่เขาเหรออะไรอย่างเงี้ยแบบแต่เขาตัวใหญ่ไงไอคนที่พาราแม่เขาหาแม่เขาก็เหมือนวิ่งหนีอ่ะมันต้องเจอคนจริงแบบนี้นะมีคนก็แชร์กันเดี๋ยวดูสถานการณ์ที่ไลฟ์สดกันนะว่าไปถึงไหนกันแล้วนะยังไม่มีอะไรอัปเดตนะคะก็ดูไปก่อนนะคะอันนี้เป็นกลุ่มแอนติฟาค่ะที่เขาก่อกวนที่พอร์ตแลนด์บ้างชิคาโกบ้างอะไรมันเป็นกลุ่มค่อนข้างใหญ่นะมีเว็บไซต์คือเป็นกลุ่มเลยอ่ะกลุ่มใหญ่เลยหน้าตาน่ากลัวที่เขาเห็นด้วยกับนี่นะเขาธงไปโรงเรียนไหนเหรอธงใหญ่มากแบบสมัยก่อนนะคะตอนรักมาใหม่ๆอ่ะสิ่งที่เห็นได้ทั่วไปก็คือเป็นการเอาธงชาติติดหน้าบ้านนะคะคือสถานที่ราชการก็จะเป็นธงชาติอเมริกันใหญ่ๆแบบนี้ค่ะที่หน้าบ้านตัวเองก็คือแสดงออกความรักชาติที่เขาทำมาหลายปีที่ผ่านมานี้นะคะก็เห็นว่าน้อยลงเหมือนว่าบางคนเขามองว่าถ้าติดธงที่หน้าบ้านเนี่ยก็เหมือนแบบแสดงออกว่าเลือดเขาน้อยนะเปล่าไม่เข้าใจเนี่ย
has been extremely effective, and we have pushed ICE so hard that they have doubled their size,
ตัวเองมันผิดตรงไหนวะ
and they have increased the severity of their tactics in an attempt to scare us into submission.
หรือติดธงหน้าบ้าน
They're brutalizing children. They're kidnapping people from legal employment. They're kicking in front doors without warrants.
ว่า
They are brutalizing people in public and then laughing and joking about it.
อยู่ฝั่ง Republican ว่า
This is where ICE has come to die.
ฮิตเลอร์อะไรเงี้ยคือ
I'm more than willing to keep the peace if they will go back to wherever they fucking crawled out of and leave us alone.
เก็บไว้เงียบๆเอาธงเก็บเข้าบ้าน
And I am
อันนี้มีธงนะคะถ้าไปอยู่
We're under occupation and we are fighting back with every tool we have at our disposal.
เนี่ยมันเป็นแบบนี้แล้วนะประเทศนี้
That has been extremely effective, and we have pushed ICE so hard that they have doubled their size and they increased the severity of their tactics in an attempt to
เดี๋ยวดูกันเลยไม่ใช่ว่าคนไม่ใช่ว่าคนที่เห็นด้วยหรือไม่เห็นด้วยจะเป็นเพศไหนก็ไม่เป็นไรประเทศนี้ประชาธิปไตยไม่ใช่เหรอใช่ไหมมันก็มีทั้งคนเห็นด้วยไม่เห็นด้วยก็ปกติเนาะไม่มีอะไรผิดนะคะเดี๋ยวฟังความ
You might not like the truth, but I'll never tell a lie. And here's the truth. If you live in Minnesota, stay the fuck home. I don't give a fuck how much George Soros is paying to be out there to protest organically when the truth of the matter is that these people like Tim Walz, they want you to get shot and killed so that they can deflect from the fact of all the fraud that's been found in Minnesota. That's right.
เขาบอกว่าคือถ้าเขาบอกว่าให้อยู่บ้านนะคนมินนิโซตาไม่ต้องออกมาเพ ราะว่าถึงออกมาถ้าคุณตายไปไอ้ทีมวอลเนี่ยมันก็ไม่สนใจคุณหรอกนี่นะ
When you see them up there like, oh my God, trust me, they love it on the inside because it takes away from the fraud that they're facing at the moment.
ก็คือความเห็นที่รักพูดไปแล้วนะคะว่าขอพูดอีกทีแปลให้เขาฟังนะก็เหมือนกับว่าเพราะว่าพอมีคนตายใช่ไหมที่มันไม่สนใจมันชอบด้วยซ้ำเพราะอะไรมันก็กบเกลื่อนเรื่องราวที่มันช่อโกงอยู่นะ
You don't see black people out there protesting. You don't see Spanish people.
เขาบอกว่าคุณไม่เห็นพวกคนผิวดำออกมาประท้วงใช่ไหมไม่เห็นพวกเม็กซิกันลาติโนออกมาประท้วงใช่ไหม
People out there protesting. What you see are dumb white.
เขาบอกว่าที่คุณเห็นคือไอ้พวกผิวขาวโง่ คนโง่ผิวขาว liberal นะ
Fucking liberals. So if you want to get shot in the face, if you don't want to make it home, go fuck with an ICE agent. Go for it. Because when I say they're inciting violence on purpose, they want more people shot dead. Because at the end of the day, ICE is doing what the American majority voted the president to do. That's right. Y'all think it's the president? No. We wanted this. We voted for this and we're getting it. So when you get fucking shot, when you get killed for staying the fuck home to defend rapists illegal that are here illegally. Here illegally. You think those motherfuckers are gonna protest for you? Hell no. Another
ชอบมากเลย มีเพื่อนเป็นกระเทยเหมือนกันนะชอบเวลากระเทยพูดนะน่ารักดี ขำ
Somalia, come get your fucking people. The trial run is fucking over. You want to know why? Let me tell you something. Under Sharia law, if you do not follow Islam, you get taxed. So when they come here and they take your money, they see it as law. To them, you're supposed to pay them because you don't follow Islam. Don't believe me? Look it up. So them saying that they feel sorry, no. They see, to them, this is law that the white man or any person that does not live under Sharia law, that does not follow their prophet, their pedophile prophet Muhammad, must pay up and pay a tax. So when they're taking all those millions and millions of dollars, to them, they don't see anything wrong with it. So again, if you live in Minnesota and you're getting paid by George Soros, good luck with that. Good fucking luck, because the majority of us support ICE. Hey, love you guys. Peace.
จริงนะคนก็คือ majority อยากให้คนผิดกฎหมายออกไปจากที่นี่นะนี่เป็น AI นะถ้าดูสองคือคนที่ขัดขวางเจ้าหน้าที่แบบนี้คืออะไรอ่ะมาจากไหนกันเนี่ยแล้วเวลาตำรวจจับก็โวยวายใช่ไหมมีเรื่องใช่ไหมแล้วทำไมถึงไม่มาด่าตำรวจดูกระชากผมตำรวจดู ดูแล้วกันกระชากหัวตำรวจผู้หญิงดูแล้วกัน เนี่ยแล้วมันจะไม่ให้เกิดเหตุรุนแรงได้ไงนะคะ ก็ดูเอาแล้วกันโอ้นี่คือสิ่งที่มันเกิดขึ้น
See kind of crap that's now on the ground out here. There's smoke grenades that initially came out. I know the smell of smoke.
อันนี้ก็คือ
Not sure what just happened there.
ทำเป็นเหมือนคนพิการ
But you guys can see the amount of crap that's now on the ground out here. There's smoke grenades that initially came out. I know the smell of smoke.
นี่ก็คือคนประท้วงเนี่ยบางทีทำเป็นข่าวปลอมแบบทำเป็นน่าสงสารนั่งรถเข็นนะแต่โดนจับได้นะเพราะว่าบุหรี่หล่นนะคะ ลงมาเก็บบุหรี่เฉยเลยนะคนพิการหายพิการทันทีเลยนะของหล่นนี่คือข่าวลวงอันนี้เป็นปี2000 under President Clinton นะ Gen Conduct ก็แปลง่ายๆนะก็คือจับผู้ร้ายนะหรือว่าคนที่เข้าเมืองมาอย่างผิดกฎหมายนะ illegal ตอนปี2000ตอนปี2014สมัยโอบามาแล้วก็ปี2009ชักชูเมอร์ดีแคร์คือทุกคนเห็นด้วยหมดนะจับ illegal alien เนี่ยก็คือคนที่เข้ามาอย่างผิดกฎหมายแล้วดูนะเด็กก็มีถูกไหมเขาจู่โจมเข้าไปเพื่อจับกุมเขาไม่รู้หรอกว่ามันมีเด็กหรือไม่มีเด็กอันนี้ไม่ได้โทษว่าสมัยนั้นรุนแรงหรือไม่รุนแรงไม่เกี่ยวนะคะแต่เป็นประเด็นที่ว่าตอนนี้มันไม่เหมือนเดิมตรงไหนหรอไม่เหมือนเดิมตรงที่ว่าอยู่ภายใต้ธรรมเนาะโอ้ยเครียดคนนี้จะโซ่นะกับลูกชายนะคะเมื่อไหร่จะจับตัวสักทีนะคนที่สนับสนุนให้ทำลายอเมริกานะก็คือกลุ่มผู้ประท้วงเนี่ยก็ได้เงินมาจากคนนี้นะคะมีอะไรใหม่มั่งไม่รู้อันนี้เมื่อวันก่อนมีข่าวว่าจับกลุ่มตัวเด็กชายอายุ5 ขวบนะคะจริงๆแล้วพอเหมือนใส่ร้ายไปก่อนอะพอมีคนออกมาแก้ข่าวมันก็ไม่ดังแล้วไงข่าวที่ไปร้ายๆมันก็ไปหมดแล้วบอกว่าจับเด็กอายุ5 ขวบนะคะจริงๆก็คือพ่อเด็กคนนี้นะคะพอพ่อเด็กคนนี้วิ่งหนีนะคะก็ทิ้งลูกเอาไว้ตำรวจเขาก็เลยต้องเอาไปดูแลให้บอกให้แม่มาเอาก็ไม่มาเพราะว่าเหมือนกลัวโดนจับนะคะเพราะว่าน่าจะเป็นเข้ามาอย่างผิดกฎหมายนะก็เลยกลัวก็ทิ้งลูกเลยนะรุนแรงหรือเปล่านะคะตอนนี้ยังสงบอยู่นะเดี๋ยวให้ดูภาพนะ ก็มาดูข่าวไปด้วยกันนะคะ ถ้าเพื่อนๆจากเมืองไทยทางเมืองไทยเป็นยังไงกันบ้างนะคะ เช้าหรือยังเนาะเพื่อนๆในอเมริกาก็แชร์กันได้นะคะว่าทางรัฐที่อยู่มีประท้วงหรือเปล่านะคะ
Fucking disgrace to law enforcement. Fucking disgrace. You are safe here. Are you fucking good? Get the fuck out of here.
โอ้มีเสียงปืนนะคะโอ้โอ้
Nazi! 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 Have you learned about Nazi? Have you learned about Nazi? That's you. Have you learned about Nazi? That's you now. When you learn about Nazi, that's you now. When you learn about Nazi, that's you now. When you learn about Nazi.
คือโอ้ my god โอ้ my god ไม่รู้ว่าเสียงปืนหรือว่าเสียงที่เขายิงไอ้ควันน่าจะเป็นเสียงที่เขายิงไอ้ระเบิดหมายถึงว่าน้ำตาอยู่ๆก็ลืมภาษาไทยเมื่อกี้ยังพูดอยู่แมปเข้าใจว่าเหมือนแบบพอผู้ชุมนุมขยับเข้ามาใกล้มากๆเขาก็จะยิงไล่หรือเปล่าไม่เข้าใจแนวทางเหมือนกันนะเพราะว่าตรงที่ผู้ชุมนุมอย่างสงบตรงเมื่อกี้มันก็เขาก็ไม่ได้ยิงก็เลยงงว่าถ้าเขายิงเนี่ยมันคือสาเหตุอะไรนะจุดตรงนี้น่าจะจุดตรงที่มีคนตายเมื่อวานนะเหมือนเขาไม่ให้เข้ามาหรือเปล่าเดินกลับมาอีกแล้วเหรอผู้ชุมนุมอ๋อภาพไปไหนแล้วมันมี2จุดเนาะตรงที่คนชุมนุมกับตรงที่ตำรวจไล่อยู่เนาะเดี๋ยวให้ดูอีกจุดนะคะอีกจุดหนึ่งที่รักดูอยู่มันก็สงบนะมันไม่จะอัปเดตให้เพื่อนๆเห็นนะว่าเรียลไทม์เนาะตรงนี้มันก็เหมือนสงบดีนะคะไม่มีอะไรถ้าอย่างเงี้ยโอเคมันก็ตามประชาธิปไตยนะคะก็มีสิทธิ์ประท้วงแบบนี้นะคะก็โอเคสวยงามไม่ได้มีปัญหา นี่ธงอะไรไม่รู้นะธงประเทศไหนไม่รู้ หรือธงกลุ่มแอนทีเดี๋ยวต้องขออนุญาตไปกินน้ำก่อนนะ ปากแห้งมากดูไปก่อนนะคะ
We're just tuning in. We're outside of First Avenue here. And the Target Center protests continue after the ICE murder of Alex Pretty and Renee Good.
I think what we got.
The National Guard is no longer out. The National Guard hasn't been out since about 9 a.m. this morning, so they're going to come down right now.
let's be clear. A general strike is what they feel. Minnesota, let's be clear. A general strike is what they feel. Minnesota, let's be clear. A general strike is what they fear. Minnesota, let's be clear. A general strike is what they fear. Minnesota, let's be clear. A general strike is what they fear. A general strike is what they fear. Yeah, a general strike is what they fear. A general strike is what they fear. A general strike is what they fear. Minneapolis, make some noise! Minneapolis, we're here to show ICE that with you and the person next to you, we can shut it down. Ain't that right? I'm going to introduce our first speaker. This is Naomi. Give it up for Naomi! Good afternoon, Minneapolis! I want you to join me in a variation on the chant we've been doing all the way here. When I say, if we don't get it, I want you to say, strike, strike, strike. If we don't get it. I said, if we don't get it. Strike, strike, strike.
เป็นยังไงกันบ้าง
That's right, and that's exactly what we did here on Friday. We shut it down
บอกว่าเห็นข่าวมันเย็นบอกว่าเห็นข่าวบอกว่างดการเข้าออกประเทศจริงไหม
poured into the downtown to shut it down completely, to demand ICE out of Minnesota, to demand ICE off our streets.
แต่เขาไม่รับน่าจะหมายถึงว่าไม่รับคนที่แบบจะย้ายมาอยู่
Because that was the first time in nearly 100 years that a general strike was called for and succeeded, and it succeeded because of all of you.
ชาติที่เป็นพวกมุสลิมก็คือไม่รับ
And when we did that, when we made history, the entire eyes of the nation were on us.
แต่เคยไปอยู่ที่อิหร่าน
They wanted to look to us for inspiration and for hope that this tactic, which had not been a century, could be done and could win again.
แต่สมมติถ้าจะกลับบ้านไปเมืองไทยอย่างเงี้ยไม่มีปัญหานะ
And the very next day, we were confronted with an unspeakable tragedy and an unspeakable violence. And whether by coincidence or by intention, we know the message that the Trump administration was trying to send. They wanted to strike back against us and make us feel afraid right after we exercised an enormous amount of
อยู่
power.
วางค่าก็นั่งดูประท้วงของข้าคนเดียวข้าก็เลยขึ้นไลฟ์แบบ
And
ว่า
what
มีเพื่อ
that
นดู
means now is that we are in a moment of struggle. Where we are now going back and forth against this racist administration to show them that we will not stand for this.
ไม่รู้ว่ามันขึ้นได้หลายคนหรือเปล่าขึ้นแบบเนี้ย นี่ค่าผ่าน YouTube ปกติเลยนะอยากทดลองอ่ะหนิงจะขึ้นมาคุยไหมทางเรียนเองจะขึ้นมาคุยไหมแต่ถ้าจะขึ้นมาคุยต้องมันมีให้แชร์ไลฟ์สตรีมได้แต่ว่าไม่ได้ขึ้นนานเนาะไม่รู้เหมือนกันว่าเดี๋ยวนี้มันเปลี่ยนปรับเปลี่ยนอะไร อ้าวใครไปซ่อนนางเย็นฆ่าเองมือลั่นอ้าวเองไม่มีประแจหรอทำไงวะเนี่ยนางเย็นใส่ประแจไงวะกระโถกระถังเมื่อวานข้าก็ลืมไม่ได้ดูหรอกประแจประแจมันไม่เห็นมีให้แชร์แบบว่าขึ้นสตรีมร่วมกันข้าลองเช็คดูแล้วไม่เห็นมีเลยเดี๋ยวหนูเอาอีกร่างมาโอเคเมื่อวานข้าก็ไม่ได้ดูนะว่าข้าได้ทำไหมคุณหญิงทำอะไรอยู่
There was a lot of action in several elastic classes.
คุณหญิงไปไหนแล้ววะ
Here outside the Boston Ice Detention Facility.
Down, down with deportation. Up, up with liberation. Down, down with deportation. Up, up with liberation. Down, down with deportation. Up, up with liberation. Down, down with deportation.
มันไม่มีนะมีประแจเป็นของตัวเองละไม่ทวงไม่ไถ่ไม่ถามเลยค้าไม่ได้ขึ้นไลน์นานค้าก็ไม่ได้ สนใจไปเจอเมื่อกี้ไปกดล็อกเองเฉยเลยลืมไว้หมดละ
I don't want to quote. I want to ask you how many were arrested. We don't know yet. Yeah, I wasn't trying to get a quote. We're video anyway, so that's be on camera. So we're not going to speak yet. Yeah. Hey. Yeah, they're trying to live this hard. Take a walk. Yeah, we'll see for sure.
ไม่ถูกก็บอก
Jim, are you going that way?
ห้ามคนไทยเข้าเขาอาจจะเข้าไม่ได้เพราะว่าอะไรผิดก็ได้ไงอย่างเช่นเอกสารผิดไม่ทำอะไรไม่ถูกสักอย่างเนี่ยอาจจะเป็นไปได้แต่ไม่ใช่คนนั้นเข้าไม่ได้แล้วคนอื่นเข้าไม่ได้ไม่ใช่นะมันอาจจะต้องมีเงื่อนไขอะไรภาพที่เอ็งเห็นมันไม่ค่อยชัดใช่ไหมข้าดูจากมือถือข้ามันไม่ชัดเลยโอ้โอ้อันนี้น่าจะเป็นย้อนหลังละมันวนละข้าไม่ได้ขึ้นสตรีมนานนะงงว่าเดี๋ยวนี้เขามีแบบอย่างสตรีมในสตรีมยาดอะมีแบบว่าทั้งแนวตั้งแนวนอนขึ้นพร้อมกันได้ด้วยอะงงเลยแต่ต้องเป็นแบบซื้อนะต้องจ่ายเงิน ำ AI ได้ด้วยเหรอน้องเรียนถ้าสตรีมฟรีจะเอาอะไรขึ้นไม่ได้แต่ถ้าซื้อถึงจะเอาวิดีโอขึ้นได้อ้าวเหรอเอาวิดีโอขึ้นนี่หมายถึงว่าแอดไปในสตรีมใช่ไหมไม่ใช่แชร์อันนี้พี่แชร์นะแชร์จากที่อื่นมาถ้าแชร์ก็คือยังได้อยู่ใช่ไหม
You're worried about Nazis, that's you now. You're worried about Nazis, that's you now. You're worried about Nazis, that's you now. Every fucking night you put your head down now. That is you now. Fucking disgrace to law enforcement. Fucking disgrace. You are safe here before you fucking good. Get the fuck out of our school. That's you now. That's you now. When you learn about Nazis, that's you now. When you learn about Nazis.
รุนแรงมาก
Today, guys, any murder at 4 p.m. Scary words are coming your way.
เริ่มรุนแรงนะถ้าสตรีมฟรีเอาอะไรขึ้นไม่ได้ใช่ค่ะใช่ค่ะโอเครุนแรงนะคะอะไรถ้าแบบเหมือนจบได้อะไรเงี้ยไม่มีสงครามกลางเมืองซึ่งไม่มีใครอยากให้เกิดนะแต่ถ้ามันหยุดไม่ได้เราก็จะเย่
down. We're not armed. We're standing here. We're looking forward. Thank you, observer. Thank you. Hey, I appreciate you. Woo! I appreciate you, buddy. We're good.
เดี๋ยวให้ดูอย่างอื่นก่อนแล้วกันนะมันมีคนนี้เขากำลังแชร์อยู่นะ
chase him off from a protest. We helped make a propaganda video. they even call their own information propaganda. That's actually crazy.
เหมือนแบบ
Anyway, we can come up with a way to tag not ICE, but F them all the same. Do not want to make that mistake again. So they're tagging Cam Higbee. They even have like right-wing journalists. We've seen what they did with Nick Sorter. We've seen what they did with Waxiest, our undercover journalist. He tried to stay undercover. He was literally streaming, and he would agree with the protesters because he had been in a situation before where he was streaming these protests, and he was surrounded, and he had his butt kicked. And he streamed a few of these protests, and all of a sudden, it was just a couple people that let some other people know who he actually was, and it started to spread like wildfire. These people are literally an enemy of information, of the right wing. That's why every time I stream these protests, I have to usually, unfortunately, go off of a left-wing stream. Usually it's TikTok. Some of these other leftist streamers usually I have to go off of. But that's just the facts of the matter, because if you are right-wing and you are in these protests, you are actually in danger if they know that. We found that out with Waxiest. He got a black eye.
เพราะว่าถ้าเป็นคนที่อยู่ฝั่งทำไปอ่ะ
And then
โดนทำร้าย
after all of that, he had his Kick account banned because they mass reported his Kick account. The protesters used a mutual aid system. Said he tried to join the mutual aid that was for Bloomington. An admin told me that it was a vetted chat for teachers and that I need to describe my relationship to a school and give my real name. So they're vetting the people that come in the chat. Ice chaser operations go all night. The dispatch call is 24/7. These are messages screenshotted at 2 a.m. asking for observer.
แต่พวกเองก็ฟังไม่รู้เรื่องข้าก็ไปเปิดอันเมื่อกี้ก่อนแล้วกันเพราะว่าเมื่อกี้แชร์เหมือนกับว่าแบบคนฝั่งที่อยู่ฝั่งทำอ่ะโดนทำร้ายกันนะเหมือนเมืองร้างจากเมืองสวยๆเป็นเมืองร้างเหรอตอนแรกก็หิมะขาวๆตอนนี้หิมะดำปึ๊ดแล้วอันนี้ที่ไหนเนี่ยนางแอบรัฐที่พี่น้ำใสอยู่อ่ะมินนิโซตาคุณหญิงไปอี้มาแล้วทำอะไรอยู่ เจอแล้วแอนทีฟาโอ้มันเน่งดูถ้าไปทำขนมให้สามีมา
There's a media here. Calm down. Not doing nothing. Calm down. We're not doing nothing.
เขาน่าจะปราบอยู่อ่ะคุณหญิงเดี๋ยวให้ดูเพราะว่าต้องเอาอันที่แบบว่าเป็นข่าวจากคนที่ผู้ประท้วงมันถึงจะ
Some groups try something. They
เพราะว่า
say,
คน
"Ooh,
ถ้า
we're
อยู่
being
ฝั่
really
งทำ
successful at
คือ
this,"
เข้าไปไม่
and
ได้
then they report that back, and it goes out to like the broader community, and then other people implement it, and they share information back and forth. So right now, Minneapolis, because again, I'll say this for people who are newer to the channel, Minneapolis is the birthplace of Antifa in the United States. Okay, I know that seems weird. I know a lot of you are like, Antifa was born in Germany. Okay, fine, but
กลุ่มคนที่แบบ
the
หัวรุน
modern
แรง
day
ที่เป็นกลุ่ม
Antifa
แอนติฟ้า
activist
เนี่ย
movement as we know it to
เหมือน
Minneapolis
birthplace
in
ก็คือเกิดที่เนี่ย
1986 with
เกิด
the
ที่
sharp
เมือง
movement,
มินนีแอโพ
the
ลิสสมัย
skinheads against racial prejudice. This came out of the punk community. The movement became the Anti-Racist Action Network. The Anti-Racist Action Network was a group that they basically took the sharp movement in Minneapolis and they created thousands of decentralized cells nationwide that were doing all the same things that Antifa is doing today. This is the birthplace of modern day Antifa. So, well, yeah, Antifa technically started in Germany in the 30s and blah, 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 whatever. That's not like in terms of like behavior of what is actually going on today. Modern Antifa started in Minneapolis. And I know that might seem weird to people. It wasn't Portland, it wasn't Seattle, it was fucking Minneapolis. A lot of this weird leftist stuff comes out of the Midwest, okay? It comes out of Milwaukee, it comes out of Chicago, it comes out of Minneapolis, it comes out of Detroit. There's that whole little Midwest kind of corridor. So Minneapolis is one of those places that is just highly organized because it is the origin point for a lot of this bullshit that we're having to deal with. And so Minneapolis has created a guidebook that is now being read and implemented all over the country about how they do their rapid response network. So we are going to read this document at some point. I just don't feel like doing it right now. I've had a long weekend, okay? Please don't make me analyze Antifa propaganda right now. We'll do it tomorrow, I promise. We'll do it tomorrow. It'll be fine. But when we're talking about like, to go back to the original question of how long do I think this is going to go on? Not only do I think this is going to go on in perpetuity, I think that this is going to escalate because I think more cities are going to be doing exactly what Minneapolis is doing. Yup, and that's exactly right. I mean, this was what? One, we've got another one here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 documents on CrimeThink about Minneapolis. So I know we haven't had a chance to analyze all the Antifa documents yet, but we will, I promise. Back to this.
There's certainly more I could be wearing here, so I just want to take a moment here to try and protect my own face and also maybe get gas mask ready or my respirator ready in case there is more tear gas that is deployed down here. As I said just before we went live,
federal agents were deploying tear gas down here.
For real? Oh man. Lame.
Ice out now! Ice out now! Ice out now! People united will never be defeated.
เนี่ยต้องมาใช้ไลฟ์สตรีมของคนที่เป็นฝั่งคนชนมุมหมด
Ice out now! 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 Ice out now!
And as the minutes pass, the crowd of protesters grows. It's hard for me to get a real sense for the number of immigration agents who are either arriving. Well, it looks like a greater concentration to me now standing in that intersection at 26th and Nicolay than were earlier. It's hard to say if those are just agents who are already here on the scene or if more are arriving. But those local authorities there in the yellow sleeves that you see in the high-vis jackets,
เขาบอกว่าถ้าเป็นตำรวจพื้นที่จะใส่แจ็คเก็ตเวสที่เป็นสีเหลืองๆ
they pulled up
เขียว
and
ๆ
at first protesters were worried that they were about to be kettled in the street, meaning surrounded by authorities. But it seems like those local authorities, and I'm not sure if they're Minnesota State Police or Hennepin County Sheriff's Office or Minneapolis Police. John's zoom with John's zoom on the camera, you might be able to have a better sense of what unit they're with than I can tell from where I'm standing.
หรือว่าทหารของทางไหน
But those local authorities kind of taking up, and this is something that John and I have seen as a pattern. Certainly what we saw when we were reporting down in Chicago. We just heard a rather loud bang here that is prompting some of the federal agents to move.
ตำรวจของ
And it looks
พื้
like
น
it's
ที่
more
ก็
tear
คือ
gas
ตำรวจ
that's
ของ
being
รัฐมินนิโซ
deployed
ตา
around on the other side of this intersection.
ผู้ว่าการหรือว่าในเมืองมินนิโซตาเป็นคนจ่ายเงินให้กับตำรวจในพื้นที่ถูกไหมแต่ตำรวจเฟเดอรัลก็คือของรัฐบาลกลางก็คือรัฐบาลเป็นคนจ่ายเงิน
But John and I have been in enough cities now that we can,
ทำไมมันถึงแยกอย่างนี้เนาะ
where the Trump
ส่วนมาก
administration has
ตำรวจ
launched
ของ
these
ทรัมป์หรือรัฐ
immigration
บาลกลาง
enforcement efforts, or we
เขาจะไม่
can
มายุ่ง
report on some of the
ก็คือ
patterns
แต่ละ
that
รั
are
ฐบริ
happening
หาร
here.
ตัวเองแต่ว่าเหตุการณ์เนี้ยเหมือนในรัฐเองอ่ะ
John is going to put on, we're setting the camera up here for just a moment so that John can put on ice boots that he has with
คน
him.
หนีเข้าเมืองผิดกฎหมาย
So that way he can keep more
เขาก็
sure-footed.
จะเอาพวกเข้าเมืองผิดกฎหมายออกไปใช่ไหม
But
ที
in
นี้ไอ้คน
other
ในรัฐ
cities that
ที่
we
ว่า
have covered
มัน
here
ตา
as
ม
part of the Trump administration's immigration crackdown is these
ตำรวจ
rolling
ที่ตรวจคนเข้าเมืองที่จะไปปราบเนี่ยไป
continue
จับ
here in the
พวก
city.
คนเหล่านี้ก็คือไป
continue here in the
ไป
United
บล็อก
States.
เขาไปขวางหน้าร
A
ถ
pattern
มา
we've seen
ประชุ
emerge
ม
is that
แบบ
local
มา
authorities
ว่า
will
ไม่ยอม
often step in the way that
มั
you're
นจะช่วย
seeing here
พวก
and act
เข้าเมืองผิดกฎหมายว่า
interpose themselves in
เขาไม่ได้
between the
ทำอะไร
federal
ผิดนะ
government and
ไม่
the
ต้องเอาไป
protesters.
อย่างงี้ใช่ไหมถ้าพูดแต่มันไม่ได้พูดดีอย่างนี้นะก็คือมันก็
We're making our way here down an alleyway,
ด่าไอ้
trying to get around for
ให้ออก
another
ไปจาก
vantage
พื้นที่
point
อะไรเงี้ย
Well,
on some of the action.
พอมันเริ่มหนักขึ้น
so Grim says I watched this
มีคน
on
ตาย
PA yesterday and was
มีคน
freaked
บาด
out by
เจ็บ
how
ทั้ง
quickly so many people
ฝ่าย
showed
เจ้า
up.
หน้าที่รัฐ
Guys,
ทั้
for
ง
people
คน
who
ชุม
don't
นุ
know,
ม
let
ใช่ไหม
me explain to you
คนชุมนุม
exactly
ก็วิ่ง
how
ออกมาเยอะขึ้น
organized
เยอะขึ้น
they are in
ตำรวจของ
Minneapolis.
รัฐของทรัมป์เนี่ย
They have at
ทรัมป์ก็
least
ส่งคนมาเยอะขึ้น
4%
เยอะขึ้น
of the people in every single
เพราะว่า
neighborhood in the city in
ตำรวจ
these signal
ทั้งรัฐ
groups
เอ
where
ง
they're
อะ
organizing.
ไม่ย
The
อมจัด
signal
กา
groups
ร
are hyper
ค
localized,
น
so we're
ใน
talking about
พื้นที่ตัวเอ
by
งเพราะว่า
street
ก็กลัว
or like by blocks or something
กลั
like
ว
that.
โดน
They
เขา
are
เรียกอะไร
hyper local, so
โดน
they
ประ
have
ณามว่าไม่ช่วย
thousands
คนใน
of
พื้นที่
people
นึกออกไหม
in these signal groups
แล้วอีกอ
that
ย่าง
are
หนึ่ง
hyper localized. so that when ICE shows up in their community, they can literally send a message out to their signal group, and people within like a multi-block radius, like it's not like people can literally leave their house and go. It's not like they even have to drive across town unless they aren't at their home because they've got these hyper localized groups, right? And so what they're saying, what Antifa is saying, is that they can get to people within 2 minutes. So if ICE shows up in a community and someone spots them, and we just watched a training earlier, they're teaching people what cars to look for, they're teaching people what uniforms to look for. If someone spots ICE within 2 minutes, they can get a crowd of people there.
สิ่งที่ประ
This
ชา
is
ชน
why
ธรรม
people
ดา
need
ที่
to
อยู่รัฐ
accept that
อื่น
the
ด้วย
left is running the
ที่ต้อ
fucking
งกังว
table
ล
in
ก็คือ
Minneapolis. The left is
ถ้ารัฐนี้
so
ประท้วงแล้ว
organized.
ทำแบบนี้สำ
They've
เร็จ
got
ใช่
it
ไหม
locked down.
รัฐอื่นมันก็
And
ลุกฮือ
so
มาไงมันจะ
the
เป็นลู
fact
ก
that
โซ่
Trump didn't
ถ้ามัน
declare
เอา
the
ไม่อยู่ตรง
Insurrection
นี้
Act
นะ
after yesterday, it's kind of
แล้ว
like,
อีกประเด็นหนึ่ง
like whatever, I guess.
คำว่าเอาไม่
Hey,
อยู่
more
ก็คือ
entertainment for us, though.
ถ้า
26th
ผู้
and
ว่าการ
Nicolay
รั
in
ฐสั่ง
Minneapolis
ให้
is
ท
south
หารหรือ
side.
ตำรวจของตัวเองสู้กับทหารของทรัมป์อันเนี้ยก็คือสงครามแล้วเกิดสงครามกลางเมืองนี่มันคือมันจะบานปลายไงมันจะเป็นเรื่องใหญ่
Oh,
ระดับ
Portland
ประเท
Indians
ศ
playing slot machines.
ที่คนเขาก็คือเหมือนแบบว่ามันจะเป็นสงครามไหมวะอะไรเงี้ยสงครามกลางเมืองก็คือคนในประเทศอ่ะฆ่ากันเองทะเลาะกันเองฆ่ากันนี่คือสง
I'm
คราม
just
กลาง
noting
เมือง
they've got looks like crime scene tape or do not cross police line tape.
มินนิโซตาสู้กันอย่างนี้เป็นต้น
No.
No? You want to stay on
I think it's a crapshoot no matter what we go. No matter where we go, we might, if we chase the smoke,
ในความรู้สึกคือคงไม่ถึง
we'll always arrive a little bit
น่า
late.
จะเอาอยู่นะทำ
Let's fast forward.
ผู้ว่าการรัฐก็น่าจะจับ
Observing that there's
เพราะว่าไอ้ที่ชอบ
state
โกงมา
police
เยอะมากเลยนะ
or local authorities who are interposing themselves between the
9 บิล
protesters
เลียนอ่ะบิลเลียน
and federal authorities here.
เป็น
And
หมื่นล้านอ่ะเป็นแสนล้าน
thought that maybe going around we'd be able to see where federal authorities are still having direct interaction with some of this
มัน
crowd.
เยอะมากอ่ะที่โก
But
ง
as I just said to John, it's I think what we're
แล้วโกง
seeing
เป็น
here
ขบวน
is
การ
that
เลย
pattern of
ไอ้คน
state
ที่
local
ตำรวจ
police interposing
ตรวจ
themselves
คนเข้าเมืองจะไปจับ
between
เนี่ย
the
ก็คือ
protesters to act as that
หนึ่ง
buffer
ผู้
between
เปอ
the
ร์เซ็นต์
federal government
ของ
and
คน
between
ที่เขาไป
local
จับเนี่ยก็คือ
and between
พวก
local
ที่
residents here in the
ชอบ
Twin
โกง
Cities
ด้วย
area.
มันปนกันอ่ะเนอะมีหลายชั้น
In other cities, that has been a point of great contention. It's been a point of contention because the protesters want to be able to get right up to the federal government and be confrontational and try to make their voices heard about with their displeasure, make their voices known.
Yeah, they want to get right up to the federal government and be confrontational. You don't say.
To these agents that they are not wanted in their communities. But when local police step in like that, it makes it very difficult for them to do so. And oftentimes activists feel that their local leaders are in effect standing with the federal government by providing what is de facto security for them. So just to reset for a moment here, what I want to say is where we are right now is, again, that intersection of 26th and Nicolay, where
เหมือนเมื่อกี้ที่เขาพูดอะตำรวจของรัฐบาลกลางอะก็ทำอะไรมากไม่ได้เพราะว่าตำรวจของรัฐอะมายืนกั้นกลางใช่ไหมให้เสื้อเหลืองอย่างเงี้ยเขาก็ก็เหมือนยืนดูอยู่ห่างๆคือทำอะไรไม่ได้เพราะว่าถ้าทำก็คือเหมือนที่เมื่อกี้พูดอะมันอาจจะเกิดสงครามกลางเมืองเพราะว่าตำรวจกับตำรวจก็คือคนมีปืนกับมีปืนแน่ๆทะเลาะกันอะอะไรมันจะเกิดขึ้นอะมันก็
Yeah, I will.
Okay, guys, breaking news. I have confirmation from Jennifer. We are going to delay the start of movie night tonight by 1 hour. So movie night usually starts at 8 p.m. It will now start at 9 p.m. And the reason is that in about 45 minutes, we are going to watch 2 back-to-back leftist organizing calls, and I'm not going to tell you what those calls are yet, but there are 2 leftist organizing calls we're going to watch. Normally we do this behind a paywall as spy stream, but we're going to do it public today as a treat because you guys sent me in 100 channel memberships. And so we're going to do it publicly and we're going to see how it goes. There are 2 different organizations that we're going to be watching. Again, not going to tell you who, but one of those calls starts around 7. The other one starts around 8 and is supposed to be done by 9. So Jennifer has agreed to delay movie night until 9 p.m. And so I just want to let people know that wanted to go to movie night. And if you are not yet in my supporter Discord, I'm going to be posting the link shortly. I will be posting the link to the YouTube post page for community members, to the Substack, to my locals and Rumble members. You should be able to access it. You should be able to access it through my locals. And I'll post it on other places as well if people need that. But those are the main ones. So if you're a new YouTube channel member, you will be able to find the Discord on the post tab. I'll tell you when it's up. If you are a new Rumble member, you should, in theory, be able to get it in my locals community. But that seems to be a little tenuous sometimes, but it should work that way.
Okay.
I'll say what's up.
ตอนนี้มีประท้วงแบบหลายที่ไม่ใช่แค่ในสหรัฐนะอิหร่าน
Outside, pop up on my freaking news feed, and I was like, fuck it, I'm going. You know, I just go down here like this.
คุณหญิงเขาบอกข้าว่า
arrest somebody. They can't
เอง
just
เก็บเงินสดไว้มั่งนะ
drive away. And
Would you mind if I interviewed you about that reaction?
Yeah, that's fine.
John, I want to interview him.
Okay.
เองอยู่ไหมเนี่ยเย็น
All right, so I am standing here with. How do you want to be identified?
คุณหญิงเขาสั่งข้าว่าให้ข้านะเก็บเงินส
you
ด
were
ติด
just
ตัว
telling
ไว้
me off camera here that
เขาบอก
you
ว่า
weren't here for the
ข้า
initial
เก็บ
incident,
ไม่
but
ได้
we're hearing
20
that
เหรียญ
someone
และ
supposedly has been
ข้า
shot
บอก
by the
ว่า
federal
ข้าไม่
government
มีสักเหรียญ
again,
ใน
and you
เงิน
were
สดอะไม่
expressing
เค
a
ยใช้
desire
เงิน
for
สดด้วย
action from your
ซ้ำ
local leaders. What is that
เข้า
action
ใจ
you want
แต่
to
ว่า
see?
เอาเงินส
The
ดที่ไหน
Minneapolis
มา
police or the state patrol or the
ต้องไปหา
BCA or whoever the hell is in charge need to do
คุณหญิง
something.
มาสั่งข้า
Federal,
เนี่ย
Let them just walk away.
walking away. John, if you could just flip the camera around there just to show what's happening. We're seeing federal agents
งานไปรษณี
walking
ย์ยั
here
ง
out
ไม่
of the
ได้เลยเนี่ย
intersection and advancing north on
จะได้ไหม
Nicolay.
เนี่ย
John, Nicolay, thank you.
ข้า
John
ไป
and I
สั่ง
are going to walk
สมัค
around
ร
the
งาน
side
ไปร
here
ษณีย์มา
and try to
รู้
see
เปล่า
exactly
เย็น
where the federal agents are going.
คนแบบสวยอะนะเครื่องสแกนรอยนิ้วมือเนี่ยปั๊มเนี่ยปกติเขาจะใช้สแก
You
น
can
ผ่า
see
น
here that a
เครื่องมื
whole
อ
crowd of protesters is
เครื่องมือแบบว่าสแกนอะเครื่องสแกนอะ
Thank you.
แล้วเขาก็เครื่องพังหิมะก็ตกวันนั้นน่ะแบบตกอย่างหนักเลยไปถึงปุ๊บเครื่องพังค้าก็เลยต้องปั๊มเหมือนสมัยก่อนอะใส่กระดาษ
You're seeing even more demonstrators now here on the north side of Nicolay.
Wait, I gotta show you guys something. This guy is out at the Whipple building in Minneapolis with his expert Soros sign. Oh, he moved the camera up. Maybe we can rewind it real quick. Lance video just took this guy. Hang on. Look at this.
คุณก็จะได้
Look at this guy with his Soros
ไม่เกิน
sign.
2 อาทิตย์ก็ได้ละ
Look at this guy. This was live just now outside the federal building in Minneapolis. Watch. Look, that guy has a Soros-funded sign right there. A piece of notebook paper still in the notebook in magic marker. Soros funding, guys. Soros funding.
ค่าทำอะไรต้องมีปัญหาตลอดเลยอะ
More tear gas being fired off as well into protesters who are now here on the north side of this intersection.
เหมือนเคยปั๊มมาก่อนเลยอ่ะแบบรู้งานมากอ่ะต้องทำยังไงในกระดาษหรือเขาพูดเหมือนแบบมึงเคยทำผิดกฎหมายไหมเนี่ยต้องปั๊มอะไรมือที่สถานีตำรวจอะไรอย่างเงี้ยรู้งานอ่ะค่าแบบไม่เคยทำอะทำครั้งแรก
John, tear gas canister landed right at our feet here.
No.
You see there Authorities moving in to push people back, and you can
ไม่ใช่สวยนะ
taste
ส
the
วย
tear gas on the air even as it billows
คน
back
มัน
into
จะส
the
วยช่วยไม่ได้อะ
police and federal authorities. John and I are moving back here, away from the tear gas. You can feel it just.
The wind's moving this way.
Yeah, the wind is starting to change direction and blow the cloud of tear gas back to where we're standing.
มีของแค่แพ็คชิ้นเดียวเองที่
Never
ขายได้
been in tear gas. It agitates your throat and your
ไม่
eyes.
ค่อยดีเลยวัน
Makes
นี้
it difficult to breathe and see.
คนน่าจะเก็บเงินสดไว้อย่างคุณหญิงว่าเนี่ยแหละ ไม่ซื้อของ
Where are your goggles?
Hotel
ป
room.
กติวันอาทิตย์เนี่ยค่ะจะต้องแบบเต็มกระบะเตรียมส่งพรุ่งนี้เช้าแล้วอะวันนี้ไม่มีใครซื้อเลยเชื่อไหมมีอันเดียวเนี่ยเมื่อวานมีชิ้นเดียวอาทิตย์นี้ถ่ายไม่ดี
Thanks, Sassy.
คนกลัวมีสงครามไม่ควักตังค์เลยช่วงเนี้ย
Slow up here.
พรุ่งนี้เนี่ยอาทิตย์นี้หาเงินไม่ได้อะแล้วคุณหญิงสั่งให้ค่าเก็บเงินสดค่าจะเอายังไง
Here you see some of those protesters who have gathered right in front of where some of the federal law enforcement is gathered. You see some of those law enforcement, some of them I'm seeing, you know.
อันนี้เทปเป็นเทปของเมื่อวานไอ้โต๊ะเหลืองๆที่เราออกมาก็คือเอามาตั้งร้านอาหารแย่เลยแม่ค่ะสวัสดีค่ะสวัสดี
Some of
ค่ะ
those law enforcement still have the less than lethal weapons, but
แม่เขาไม่มีกุญแจเข้าบ้านมา
He totally missed on the kick.
oh, and there you see pepper spray also being fired
ต้อง
into the
เอามา
crowd.
เก็บไปล็อกคนอื่น
Whoa.
Flashbang grenades are going off here in the crowd, and the federal law enforcement are kicking tear gas canisters closer to the protesters.
Listen, I know I saw some of this yesterday, but like I never get tired of watching the left get tear gassed. It's just never disappoints. It never disappoints. Viva is live right now exposing how the shooting was backed. I don't care. I don't like Viva Frey. I think he's an idiot. I think he's a very very self-conscious retard, honestly. So I don't care. I don't care. Thank you though.
Sorry.
John, run right behind us. Keep going back. John, keep coming back now.
มีการไม่ให้กุญแจ นะคะไม่ต้องเอาหรอกเดี๋ยวไปไขเข้าบ้านคนอื่นเข้าบ้านผิดบ้านถูก
Yeah, we gotta get out of here.
ชาดามันไม่อยู่อ่ะแม่เมื่อกี้คนหญิงเขามา
Yeah, people are taking refuge inside the building.
ทำไมของค่าจอมันขึ้นว่าคนมีคนดูอยู่คนเดียว
Inside the building. Listen, you need to get tear gas like a man. When I got tear gassed in Portland, I didn't take refuge inside a building. I took it like a fucking man. I coughed a little bit, I spit on the ground a couple times, and you get on with it.
James!
หลับสบายไหมคะเมื่อคืนหลับสบายกันไหม
Okay. I'm all right. How are you? All right. It's fucking bullshit. I just gotta say it. The continuous firing. I'm okay. I'm okay.
Thank you.
I'm okay. Members of the community out here offering water to everybody who's being directly affected by the tear gas that's being fired there is not being fired by the local law enforcement. It's being fired by the federal government who are standing behind that local law enforcement presence.
Oh no, baby. Oh no.
Moving this way.
He's so mad.
โอ้ยน่าสงสาร
And they tear gas people who have come out to directly protest
อันนี้
their presence here in the Twin Cities area. Yeah, do that.
Keep an eye on things.
Yep. Yeah.
There's going to be a noise demonstration. Breaking news. There's going to be a noise demonstration at the Hilton Hotel tonight in Minneapolis. This is going to be, well, it's being posted by Antifa, but it's going to be by the Sunrise Movement probably. And so maybe there'll be coverage of the noise demonstration tonight in Minneapolis. It's supposed to start at 7 p.m. Honestly, guys, if there are streamers in Minneapolis, this noise thing will probably go all night long because their whole goal with the noise protest, this is where they show up outside the hotels and they make as much noise as possible because they think ICE agents are staying there. They want the hotels to kick them out, all that stuff. And so there is going to be one tonight starting at 7 p.m. And so hopefully we get some streamers out there covering it. That'd be pretty great.
You can see John and I just then in that scene. What are we doing? We're continuously walking backwards, as is all of the protesters, as that tear gas is being fired. But even that backing up of the protesters still merits, apparently, the federal government to fire even more and more tear gas into that crowd. You heard there's somebody in the crowd yelling out fucking murderers at the federal government.
Yo, if you don't have, you should get your mask on now.
Yeah, I would want to.
Yeah, do that. Put your stuff down on the ledge, on the stuff.
Nope, I'm gonna put it over here.
Hả, คนดูข่าวเป็นเพื่อนช่วงนี้ติดตามข่าวประท้วง
All right, guys, we're just waiting for JT to get his mask on and his helmet.
There's a bunch of people at the Whipple too.
Yeah, guys, you got the feds fucking creating war zones in the streets of Minneapolis. This is what they're doing. This has nothing to do with safety.
Experts weigh in on the entire situation, exactly how it unfolded second by second. And well, let's just say that right this very moment, the far left isn't exactly happy. In fact, today, we actually had numerous massive developments with this entire situation that video I want to show you to really kick off today's live show. And what I want to show you is this. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a slowed down, enhanced piece of footage from yesterday's shooting as it unfolded. What you notice here. Let's put this up on.
ดูนะเนี่ยถือปืนใช่ไหม
I'm going to go ahead and play that for all of you one more time in case you weren't paying attention. One more time, ladies and gentlemen.
เนี่ยคนเนี้ยถือปืนคือใครที่วิ่ง
Now, folks, what seems the case right now, this seems to be the consensus at the moment, or a common thought at a minimum, is that this firearm, which is a 6-hour P320 9mm handgun, actually had what is called an accidental discharge after it was apprehended from the suspect, from the aggressive leftist instigator, after it had been apprehended by a federal law enforcement officer. This is the first shot. The first shot that was fired was actually, seems to be at the moment, an accidental discharge. And you can actually see the slide rack back after the shot. It pops back. You can tell a round was fired. Now, the reason why this is very important here is because for those of you that are interested in guns, all of our firearm enthusiasts, the 6 Hour P320 is actually known for doing this. The 6 Hour P320 unintentional discharges are a significant concern with numerous lawsuits and reports alleging that the pistol can fire without a trigger pull, especially when dropped, leading to injuries. Though 6 Hour maintains that the gun is safe, there have been lawsuit payouts. There's been litigation. This is a very known fact. Now, ladies and gentlemen, to add some extra context here, there is a video right now that is going absolutely viral. It's uploaded by Andrew Branca of The Andrew Branca Show. He's an attorney specializing in pro-America, pro-Constitution, pro-Western civilization, political and legal analysis. This individual here, we're going to play his video. It's about 3.5 minutes long. This video adds impeccable context to this entire dynamic, explaining exactly what has gone on here. Ladies and gentlemen, take a listen to this. It's going to blow your mind.
So this is the gun at the scene, the shooter's gun. And I'm familiar with this gun. This is a SIG 320. Gosh, what do they call it? The AXG, I think. Yeah, AXG. The SIG 320 AXG Combat. You can see it has a threaded barrel, just like the suspect's gun. This image is from the SIG website, so it doesn't have the optional optic on it, which this guy has, which, by the way, is a SIG optic, a Romeo 2 optic, 9mm pistol, high capacity. This magazine might be the 20 or 21 round magazine, the way it's extending from the gun. This is not an inexpensive firearm. This gun, just the gun without the optics, sells for anywhere between $1,000 and $1,200 retail. And the optic that's on the shooter's gun is typically another $500 or $600. So we're pushing a couple $1,000s worth of the pistol here, which is not a small amount of money on the gun. Now, I'm going to mention, because someone's going to mention it, like it or not, SIG 320s have developed a reputation, deserved or not, of unintentional discharges, meaning if they're dropped, sometimes they go off when they're not.
Folks, you can go on YouTube right now, or perhaps even Rumble. You can find video after video after video after video of hobbyist gun enthusiasts replicating this SIG 320 accidental discharge. People are replicating this all over the internet. This is a serious and very well-known problem, very well-documented problem. There's video after video after video of this exact problem manifesting.
They're supposed to be drop safe, but there's been lots of press coverage and lawsuits about people like just putting a primer in the gun and dropping it. The primer goes off. That's not supposed to happen. There's been lots of lawsuits where people say, you know, I bumped the gun in the holster and it just went off and shot me in the leg, that kind of stuff. In this case, it's beginning to look, at least initially, as if one of the ICE guys perceived the gun on the suspect, this gun, and took it off his person and was turning away, walking away with the gun to secure it from the suspect. But what might have happened, remember, there's a whole bunch of officers involved. They're not all, you know, Ethernet cable to each other's brains. They're all seeing different things. And one officer might have seen the gun and said the word gun. And that might have triggered that first shot by an officer. And then all the other officers begin shooting in response to that initial discharge.
Well, and once again, now we know what seems to be the case is that this was not the first shot that was fired was not intentional. It was unintentional. People have lined up the audio. They've overlaid all the videos and audio files. The first shot, I mean, you're looking at it right here. This is the first shot, and it's from a P320. Seems to be like an accidental discharge. And this first shot that you see here takes place about 1.5 seconds after one of the ICE officers yells, "Gun, he's got a gun." So this is the series of events. An ICE officer, they're struggling with this guy on the ground. They're wrestling. This guy is resisting. They're trying to detain him. He's fighting and struggling aggressively after instigating the conflict in the first place. An ICE officer yells, "Gun, he's got a gun." And then this ICE officer, DHS, I believe, actually gets the gun away, but it has an accidental discharge. Boom, it goes off. And then 1 second later, another ICE officer fires into this guy. And so we're going to talk about whether or not that is a self-defense shooting. Whether or not that shooting was justified, we're going to break that down next. But that is the series of events. Let's continue on.
That does not make the shooting unlawful. It would be an awful but lawful shooting. So what's required for the shooting to be lawful? The officers have to have a reasonable perception of imminent threat of unlawful deadly force harm. That's it. If the answer to that is yes, this is a lawful shooting. They're struggling with this gun. If they perceive this guy as being non-compliant with arrest, fighting with officers, as reaching for a weapon, they will have reasonably perceived an imminent threat of unlawful deadly force harm, justifying their use of deadly defensive force. And their perception does not have to be correct. Their perception has to be reasonable. We're not required to make perfect decisions in self-defense. Police too. We're required to make reasonable decisions in self-defense. If an officer heard a fellow officer shout gun, and officers are allowed to rely on the expertise of training on their fellow officers, they don't personally need to see the threat themselves. If another officer with whom they're working in that event shouts out that the triggering event has been observed by a fellow officer, that's enough for another officer to resort to the use of deadly defensive force. They're allowed to rely on the reasonable perceptions of the other officers' communications and conduct. Yeah, happens all the time. Because everyone knows the officers have different perspectives or seeing different things. Every officer does not personally need to see the threat. He has to have a reasonable belief that the threat is present. That can be based on a reliance on what other officers communicate. So if one officer shouts gun, all the other officers are going to be prepared to, and some of them will shoot. As appears to be what happened here.
Yeah.
When you get in a physical brawl with a bunch of armed law enforcement officers and you have a gun on your person, you're running a serious risk of getting fatally shot in the course of that confrontation. The moment they see that gun, they've reasonably perceived an imminent threat of deadly, unlawful force against them. They'll justifiably respond with deadly defensive force.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, I think some of you were asking the question, okay, this guy, he's an attorney, Andrew Bronca, is what he's saying true? Was this reasonable, justifiable force on behalf of the ICE officers, DHS, CBP, whatever they were? Well, I did some research because I was curious myself. Folks, I want to read off to you an excerpt from the 1989 Graham versus Connor United States Supreme Court case, which effectively since has established the standard for evaluating the claims of excessive force by law enforcement. This is the gold standard. The outcome, the ruling, Supreme Court decision 1989, Graham versus Connor. There's an excerpt from the decision here. We're going to take a look at this, and I quote, the reasonableness of a particular use of force must be judged from the perspective of a reasonable officer on the scene rather than with the 2020 vision of hindsight. The calculus of reasonableness must embody allowance for the fact that police officers are often forced to make split-second judgments in circumstances that are tense, uncertain, and rapidly evolving about the amount of force that is necessary to be used in a particular situation. So this determination, this is from 1989 Supreme Court decision, this since, so for the last 40 years or so, has been the gold standard of whether or not a police officer in a shooting situation is operating under a certain amount of reasonableness. And so this is what is being discussed right now. And so when you consider the legal precedent, the historical precedent here, I think what Andrew Bronca here is saying is totally true. Absolutely. Most importantly here, folks, let's talk about the individual that was involved in the shooting, the far left agitator. People seem to be forgetting that this man woke up on a Saturday morning and intentionally decided to dress up like a military militia man movie character. Then he intentionally decided to interfere with ongoing federal law enforcement operations while carrying a handgun without an ID, by the way, which is illegal. Then he gave you the green light to obstruct federal law enforcement operations, and it most certainly does not give you the green light to assault federal law enforcement officers. But now, to put all of this really into perspective here, let's talk about the bigger picture, ladies and gentlemen. In 2026, so far this year, in 2026, federal immigration agents have shot a grand total of 4 people, one of whom had assaulted a federal law enforcement officer and was resisting detention while armed with a handgun. That happened yesterday. Another was armed with a shovel and was actively trying to use that shovel to kill the immigration officer. That happened about a week ago. And the other two had weaponized their vehicles in an attempt to run over an immigration officer, one of which is Renee Good, similarly about 2 weeks ago. So that's kind of the big picture here. You can't help but notice the trend. There seems to be a common denominator here, and that common denominator here, the commonality between all of these DHS officer-involved shootings this year is this: far-left radicals that are not just obstructing federal law enforcement operations, but that are in fact also getting violent towards federal law enforcement officers. And so I'm going to make a point here. Why is it that I or any of you did not get shot on the streets of Minneapolis yesterday? Why was it this individual that got shot and not me or you or you? I'll tell you why. Because I did not bring a firearm down to the streets of Minneapolis to deliberately interfere, undermine, and subvert ongoing federal law enforcement operations. You did not resist detention. I did not ignore lawful federal orders to get out of the way. So it seems to me there's a series of bad decisions that these people seem to make, and then every single time they pay a terrible consequence for their bad decisions, which we saw yesterday, we saw with Renee Good, we've seen time and time again. Then the entire left-wing mainstream media apparatus comes out and says, oh, these ICE officers, DHS, they're going around indiscriminately killing people. They're just shooting people. Except that's not the case at all. The common denominator, like we laid out, is every single time there is a DHS-involved shooting, literally every single time we have video footage of a member of the far left, some agitator that is working to undermine these federal law enforcement operations, that is physically aggressing against federal law enforcement officers, that is sometimes deliberately and explicitly trying to kill federal law enforcement officers, which is the situation with Renee Good and this illegal alien we saw 2 weeks ago that picked up a shovel and was trying to kill one of them. So this stuff has to be talked about. We have to correct the record here. We cannot let the left-wing media, all of these left-wing propagandists, control the narrative. We've got to set the record straight here. And the thing is, all of this is on video. We all saw the same video. We know exactly what happened here. The only people pushing back against this, what are they saying? They are telling all of us to not believe our eyes. Listen, folks, we are not going to have a repeat of 2020. We are not going to let these far-left freaks burn the damn country down again as they did just a couple years ago. I want to let the record show the far left seems to be playing a game right now. And the game is this. Anytime they don't get what they want, politically speaking, anytime Trump gets elected, anytime Trump doesn't give them everything they want, they then attempt to hold the country hostage and say, listen, Trump, if you don't give us what we want, we're going to burn the country down. We're going to start engaging in far-left domestic terrorism. We're going to put together activist groups. We are going to turn this country upside down because you're not giving us what we want. The second all of us and vote these freaks out of power. Keep in mind, about a year ago, we kicked these people out of the House, kicked them out of the Senate, kicked them out of the White House. We have over half of the state governorships right now. The American people collectively got together and said, we are sick of left-wing leadership. We kicked them out of every mechanism of power that we possibly could have. So this is the reason why they're doing what they're doing. They're trying to burn down the country, instigate violence. They're trying to shut down the government again for the second time. They're talking about that now. These people are effectively political terrorists. The second they don't get their way, they say, all right, we're burning the damn country down. And we cannot tolerate them. In fact, every time they try to do this, we need to go harder. We need to go harder. And what I see in the chat, I see some people on Twitter. I'm gonna piss some people off here. We all know the Republic is at stake. We all know the game these leftist freaks are playing. We all know what they want. We all know what their end goal is. They want this country flooded with immigrants from the third world. They want you and your family raped physically and financially and otherwise. They want you to be replaced in the country that your ancestors built by millions of immigrants from the third world that don't even speak English. That is what they want. And still, I see some members of the right, conservatives on Twitter in the chat, members of the right wing, I'm so based, that are in the aftermath of what happened yesterday, that are actually playing coverage for the left. They're saying, well, listen, this is clear cut. This is good versus evil. This is a battle for the future of the republic. If you give these people an inch, some of you are idiots. You never learn. Some of you, we've been doing this for 10 years with Trump and the far left. And still today, I see some of you idiots giving these members of the left an inch. If you give them an inch, they will take a mile. If you give them a Minnesota, they will take a Texas. They will come for Florida. We give them nothing. Nothing. It is good versus evil. And some of you are saying, oh, well, I don't know. Cut the shit. If we don't stop them here, they will come for your state or your city next. We shut it down now. There is no compromise with these people. There is no compromise with evil. These people are hell-bent on destroying this country. I'm not shaking hands with them. It is over. There will be no compromise. So I had to real quickly call out some of these conservatives, some of these spineless losers. It's like some of you want to lose. You're hell-bent on losing. Just when we are on the cusp of winning, it seems like you deliberately fumble the ball and you give these people a victory. If you had it your way, this country would plunge right into the depths of hell. We are not going to let that happen. As long as people like you in the chat, as long as people like me are here, we are not letting that happen. We will drag you by the hind of your neck across the finish line if that's what it takes. We are saving this country. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Border Commander Greg Bovino chimed in earlier today. And he gave his thoughts. Take a listen here real quick.
With respect, it feels as though in some ways you're blaming the victim here.
The victims are the Border Patrol agents. I'm not blaming the Border Patrol agents. The victim are the Border Patrol agents. The suspect put himself in that situation. The victims are the Border Patrol agents there.
Bovino gets it. Bovino is not making compromises here. Bovino is done making compromises. The victim, I'm blaming the victim. The victim are the DHS agents. These people are victimized every single day. The victims are all of us American citizens that have had our nation pillaged. Our prosperity has been pillaged by far left communists and illegal aliens from the third world. You want to talk about victims? You are a victim. I am a victim. Bovino's a victim. American patriots, actual heritage Americans have been victimized. DHS agents have been victimized. The far-left communist agitator is part of an activist network hell-bent on disrupting ICE officers. He is not a victim. He got his comeuppance. He is a comeuppance recipient, is what he is. Victim? No. We have another one here from Bovino. Take a listen to this one.
I believe that all citizens of the United States have those First and Fourth Amendment rights as long as they do so peacefully and don't delay, obstruct, or assault anyone in doing that. And that's the issue here because he was not peacefully doing anything.
Absolutely right. Double down, triple down, quadruple amendment does not afford you the right to impede ongoing federal law enforcement operations. It does not afford you the right to assault, to instigate physical conflict against federal law enforcement operations, doing the job that, by the way, we all voted for them to do. What it does do, what the First Amendment does do, is afford you the right to peacefully assemble. Go read the First Amendment. I think a lot of people haven't. Peaceful assembly. Was this guy peacefully assembling? No, we have him on video. We've got it from 3 different angles. This guy was standing in the road, blocking federal law enforcement vehicles, yelling at officers. They asked him to get off the road. This guy puffs up his chest. He pushes back. He starts grappling with federal law enforcement officers. Get out of the way. Get out of the way. Your First Amendment does not give you the right to do what this guy did yesterday. We hear from Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche, number 2 in the DOJ, giving his opinion here.
I'm very confused about why the conversation is about what you're talking about, instead of focusing on what really matters, which is why in one city, in one place do we have these problems. We deport 10 times the number of illegal aliens out of Texas than we do out of Minneapolis. Why do we hear nothing out of Texas about any of the same problems that we have in Minneapolis. I'll tell you why. Because in Texas, we have the cooperation and support of local law enforcement so that we can do these operations safely, keeping U.S. citizens and others protected and safe. That is not what we have in Minneapolis. And the fact that it's the administration that's being blamed for the utter failure of leadership in Minneapolis is not right. It's not appropriate.
Are you
It's also
saying
not-
ขายได้ราวๆ50 เหรียญนะคนนี้
Now, the notion here is
ถ้า
that
จะเอาขาย
this
เร็วนะ
resistance is the fault of
แต่
Tim
มีคน
Walz and Minneapolis Mayor Jacob
มัน
Fry,
ได้
and it
ราคา
absolutely is.
ดี
By
ก
the
ว่า
way,
นั้น
they
ก็
have
มี
established robust,
เหรียญนะ
massive resistance
ถ้า
networks.
อยู่เรา
Like
อ
I
ยู่
said, we
รา
have
คา
these
ก
signal
ลางๆ
chat
หน่อย
leaks that
มัน
we're
ก็
going to talk about today. That's absolutely
ห้า
right. He says
60
10 times more illegal aliens have been deported out of Texas than Minnesota, but you don't hear any drama coming out of Texas. It's because Texas actually works with federal law enforcement. And he's absolutely right. But you know what? I was looking for some proof. I said, you know what? Okay, I believe him. That sounds right to me. I want to show you some data here, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, this might be complex. Let me try to help you make sense of this. This is a chart indicating ICE arrests versus state share of unauthorized population. So this is arrests per state adjusted for illegal alien per capita population. So what you can see is that effectively West Virginia is the if you are an illegal alien, West Virginia is the worst state to be in. If you're an illegal alien, you do not want to be in West Virginia because these guys are getting deported en masse. If you're an illegal alien, opposite, what is the best state to be in? Alaska. Not a lot of deportations happening in Alaska right now. I think that kind of makes sense. I think that seems to make sense. Now, what do you notice here? Almost all of the states where we're seeing the most deportations per illegal alien population here, generally speaking, all of them are red states. It's like red states up top, blue states down below. Why is that happening? Well, the answer is obvious. It's because red states are complying. They are working with federal immigration law enforcement. They're not resisting. In fact, look at this. Where's Minnesota?
เห็นสีแดง
Minnesota here is like maybe number 30 in the list. It's not even the top 25 when you're talking per capita illegal alien deportations. Minnesota's all the way down here.
เป็นแถบ
So why is nobody talking about West Virginia, Mississippi? Wouldn't you expect to see a bunch of drama and crazy videos and shootings happening in West Virginia, Mississippi, Alabama, Wyoming? Wouldn't that be the case? Because that's where most of the deportations per population is.
ผิดกฎหมายออกนอกประเทศได้อะ
You actually don't see that at all. And the reason why is because local law enforcement, state law enforcement is, imagine this, working with the federal government to make their states
เอาออกได้
safer.
น้อยมาก
Shocking, I know.
มัน
Now, Treasury
ช่วยกัน
Secretary Scott Bessent earlier this morning gave his thoughts on this. Take a watch.
เอามา
Jonathan,
ขาย
it's
เล
a
ยค่ะ
tragedy when anyone dies, but I can tell you the situation on the ground there is being stirred up by Governor Walz. I was
รู้
out
มีซื้
there
อไว้
2
เย
weeks
อะ
ago. Governor Walz
มือค้าไม่
declined
ว่า
to
งนะ
provide
ยอม
a
ผม
security
อยู่
detail for me to go
อัน
into
นี้
the
ใช้
Minnesota Capitol with the
ใช้
state police. So he
จ
is
มูกพิมพ์แล้ว
fomenting he is fomenting chaos
ไอ้ที่พิมพ์
because
บอกมาเนี่ย
there is substantial
เอาจมูก
waste, fraud, and
พิมพ์มา
abuse. My job as Treasury Secretary is to investigate that. And I think that this chaos that's going out there, and again, I am sorry that this gentleman is dead, but he did bring a 9mm semi-automatic weapon with 2 cartridges to what was supposed to be a peaceful
แม่ทำอะไร
protest.
อยู่คะ
I think that there are a lot of paid agitators who are ginning things up, and the governor has not done a good job at tamping this down.
Well, not only has he not done a good job of tamping this down, he is the one directly instigating it. He wants this. He wants the chaos. Fry wants the chaos. Walz, Keith Ellison, Attorney General, they want the chaos. Why? In fact, you know what? Let's compare all of this chaos we see in Minnesota to other blue states. Why don't we see this chaos in Maine or Virginia
ขนาดมือ
or
ไม่ว่าง
Pennsylvania
เอา
or
จมูก
Colorado?
พิมพ์มาว่าคิ
Why
ดถึงนะแม่
Minnesota specifically? It's like it's not even a blue state, red state thing. Some blue states are actually kind of complying with the Trump administration. Why
กินกาแฟค่ะ
Minnesota specifically? I'll tell you why. The answer why is because about a month and a half ago, a national spotlight was shown on $9 billion plus worth of federal fraud that Walz and Ellison and the Somali community and Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey, seems like they knew about it. Seems like they were a part of it. Seems like at a minimum they turned a blind eye. Perhaps even they were direct beneficiaries of it. They were making money from it. Could be the case. Investigation ongoing. We've got a RICO case being built right now. And so I think it makes a lot of sense here. Let me know what you think, that after all of this fraud and corruption was exposed under Governor Tim Walz's leadership and Jacob Frey's leadership, what do then? They instigate, their strategy was to try to pivot away from that fraud. Hey, let's stop talking about the fraud. Let's start talking about how bad ICE is and how evil DHS is and how terrible the CBP is. Man, but we have a problem because ICE isn't killing anybody. And DHS and CBP, they're not shooting anybody. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to bump up the rhetoric. We are going to inflame the tensions. We're going to get up here behind the podium and say that ICE is Gestapo and we're at civil war and Trump is a Nazi, et cetera, because if we start engaging in rhetoric like that, then we're going to compel a bunch of mentally ill members of the far left to get out there on the streets. And it's only a matter of time. If we have mentally ill leftists out there on the streets impeding and undermining and subverting ongoing federal law enforcement operations, it's only a matter of time before something terrible happens. It's only a matter of time before someone oversteps their bounds, gets up in an ICE officer's face and starts instigating physical conflict like we saw yesterday. Or it's only a matter of time before some mentally ill leftist gets behind the wheel and tries to run one of these guys down. We saw 2 weeks ago, Renee Good. It's only a matter of time before this stuff starts to happen, and then we're going to have our narrative. And then Tim Walz has his narrative. Then he can get up there and say that President Trump is dispatching and deploying all of these evil Nazi Gestapo federal law enforcement officers. They're gunning people down in the streets. They're shooting all the little Mexicans. We heard this story about a 5-year-old Mexican boy being used as bait. They ran with that one. That got debunked immediately. These people are lying in order to try to save their own skins by diverting the national attention away from the fraud towards all of President Trump's violent extremist DHS officers. They're trying to do a pivot. We're not going to let them. Here, at least here, we are fact-checking this stuff every single day. Thank you all for being here. Make sure to like, make sure to subscribe. Thank you all. Now, we hear a brief message from Kristi Noem as it pertains to all of this. Take a look from this morning.
We want transparency for the American people, and that's one of the reasons why you've seen our Border Patrol and our ICE officers out there working with the community and consistently asking the governor, consistently asking the mayor, please work with us. All we ask is that before you turn violent criminals out on the streets, let us know so we can pick them up and we can send them back to their home countries. We've asked for that partnership. We get it everywhere else in the country, that we have Democrat and Republican leaders working with us. We wish that Minnesota could be the same. We want
All we want is transparency. And by the way, that is pretty much what the Trump administration is getting in almost every other state. Most other states in the country are just kind of working with the Trump admin. We've got the numbers, the chart, the stats, the quantitative data to prove that. We know that. This is a Minnesota state problem. Minnesota is a problem right now. And I feel bad because, by the way, in the 2024 presidential election, 47% of Minnesotans voted for Trump. I'm going to say something crazy here. Might it be the case that Minnesota is actually a red state? I think Minnesota, 47%, that's close. Minnesota, I think, might actually be a red state in the absence of all of these illegal, alien, fraudulent votes. You know, if there's $9 billion worth of fraud in this state, that's what they're doing with federal tax dollars. Imagine what they're doing with the votes. Imagine what they're doing with the voting booths and the voting machines. Good Lord. You know, I really think Minnesota is a red state, and I feel bad for the American patriotic Minnesotans that are fed up with this stuff. They right now, these brave patriotic Minnesotans, they've got to live under the boot and the thumb of these far left freaks like Walz and Frey. It's terrible. I feel bad. Now, folks, this is where we're going to transition and talk about our next big story of the day here. Ladies and gentlemen, independent journalist by the name of Cam Higbee has just, I kid you not, infiltrated a left-wing Signal group chat, private group chat, in which members of the far left in the Minneapolis area have been tracking, monitoring, and obstructing federal law enforcement operations during their ongoing deportations. And the amount of information that has just been exposed by nature of infiltrating this far left signal chat is frankly absolutely astounding. These far left radicals are, one, very organized. It's going to blow your socks off. And two, there's a lot of them, hundreds, perhaps even thousands. And it's not just random people. It's not just paid protesters, agitators. They are in there. We have the names, but it's also senior ranking members of the Minnesota state government, members of the progressive left. We're going to talk about that also. That's right. They all got exposed. And by the way, right now, this is pretty much the biggest news story in the entire nation. Elon Musk himself earlier this morning has been working overtime to help shine a light on all of this information. And numerous members of the Trump administration itself are now digging into all of this information right now as well. So today, what we're going to do, folks, is go over all of this information. We are doing an investigative deep dive. So bear with me, everybody, put on your seatbelt to really get a better understanding of what is going on here. Now, like I said, this is independent journalist Cam Higbee. He infiltrated the signal chat. Take a look at this. He says, I have infiltrated organizational signal chat groups all around Minneapolis who have the sole intention of tracking down federal agents and impeding, assaulting, and obstructing federal law enforcement officers. Buckle up. All of this is going to be revealed. Each area of the city has a signal or several signal chats. Let's start with a screen recording of all the members of the South Side group chat to kick things off. Take a look at this. Put this up on the big screen. Ladies and gentlemen, all of the names, and this goes on for 30 seconds. Look at this. People are using their real names, first name, oftentimes first name, last name, and now we've got more investigative journalists digging into this, saying, wait a minute, I know that guy. Wait a minute, that guy works here. That guy, this is that guy. He works in the school board. He's a part of city council, whatever, etc. It just goes on and on. There's hundreds, perhaps thousands of them, and this is just one signal chat for one part of the city. This is only one neighborhood of the city. Cam Higbee goes on. I have been undercover inside of these group chats for days. You're going to notice emojis next to the people's names. Here's a key for what those emojis mean. The highlighted positions are the most crucial. Most are self-explanatory. Mobile patrols spend their entire shift searching for suspicious ICE vehicles. When they find one, they send it to the group chat so that the plate checkers can compare with their database and see if it's a known federal vehicle or if the patrol can make the confirmation that the database can be updated. So this is shocking. Ladies and gentlemen, what this means is that people inside of these far left groups in these signal group chats, some of them are working inside the government because they have access to license plate databases. Because it begs the question, how exactly are they checking the license plates? They have access to the license plate databases. A random person can't do that. I can't go check some license plate database. They're in the government. They are in the government. Dispatch runs a maxed out call all day telling protesters where exactly ICE has been spotted and how they can best be impeded. Here's a photo. Unvetted chat while on a shift. Please put emoji in front of your signal name so we know your role and location. Mobile patrol, stationary patrol, foot patrol, dispatch, hyperlocal group messenger, school/transport safety spotters, license plate checker, medic, aftercare provider. They all have special roles, special functions. All right, guys, I'm patrolling on foot. Well, I'm in my car driving around. This is insane, and now the lid has been blown off. It goes on. For each occupation or shift position, protesters have to undergo training. It's unclear what that training entails, other than numerous slides of instructions. I've seen it mentioned repeatedly. Who is paying for all of this? They have, it almost looks like a training. They've got almost like a PDF or a PowerPoint presentation that you've got to work through to go through your training. And they're all talking about their training here. Now, by the way, I actually have some of the training material. I'm going to show you. I was able to find this on myself, on my own. I'll show you what that looks like here in a minute, but hold that thought. Cam Higby goes on to say, excuse me, each chat for a specific part of the city has smaller districts broken up within it called, quote, patrol zones, which guide the ICE chasers on where they should be or position. They have the entire city mapped out. All right, guys, I'm doing a foot patrol in zone 2A. All right, I'm doing a car patrol in zone 4B. They are, this is highly coordinated. Sharing our Bloomington patrol zone map, which is loosely based on city council districts. You want to talk about RICO? You want to talk about a RICO case? I think we've got it. Listen, all of these people. It gets worse though. You guys have seen nothing yet. We're going to keep going here. Here is a screen recording of their license plate database as well as a link to its instructions. What do we have here? Full screen this. docs.proton.me is the website. Access the data. ICE plate search. The tool linked above is the recommended option for quickly looking up license plates. It accesses the Minneapolis ICE plate data set along with plate data sets from other sources.
ต้องให้ตำรวจจับ FBI ไปจับให้หมดเลยไอ้พวกเนี้ยทรยศชาติ
They have instructions and material on how to check all of this stuff.
ข้อมูลให้ดูว่าหน้าตาแอปที่มันติดตาม
Confirmed ICE, masked or uniformed ICE agents seen in the vehicle. Highly suspected ICE. They've got different threat levels. Confirmed ICE, highly suspected ICE, suspected ICE, and cleared not ICE. Unknown, the unknown category. And so they are categorizing all of the license plates they can into a massive license plate database. Here is a screenshot of the active dispatch call. It's always active, as well as a shift change. You can see folks are changing their emojis, clocking in and clocking out. Clocking out of work. Look at this. Moody changed their profile name to Plate Moody. Now Moody is monitoring plates. This individual changed their name, so they're changing their emojis depending on what their job is. They're clocking in, clocking out, so you know exactly how many license plate observers you have, how many foot patrollers you have.
White Chevy Silverado with the newly changed plates with the coexist sticker on the back. We're on Irving and Lake Street. Going north on Irving.
So he's here listening to this is their 24/7 dispatch call.
We seem to be the only commuters following. Just wanted to give an update on our location. Thank you. Do you have anyone in the car with you? Yes, I do.
So this goes on 24 hours a day. I'll play another snippet. Play this.
These 5 observers are on there. KM, I'll probably have you stay on that F-150, but anyone else that's on this call that is currently on that F-150, I think we could use our resources and energy better.
This is insane. You want to talk about insurrection? You want to talk about insurrection? You want to talk about, dare I say, far left domestic terrorists doing every single thing they can to undermine ongoing federal law enforcement operations? Insurrection. Just wait until you hear some of these names that are involved in this. I haven't even read that to you guys yet. He posts more recordings of them tailing vehicles, tracking vehicles. A new group chat for each zone is made every single day. The chats are dated and then deleted at the end of the day to delete the evidence. This is likely to avoid detection, record keeping, and consequences. By midday, the group chat hit maximum capacity, 1,000 people allowed by signal, and people who are not chasing federal agents are asked to leave to create room for more people who are actively tracking federal agents. Thousands. In just one little area. The dispatch calls also reach maximum capacity constantly. It's believed it's 50 people maximum, 50 people per voice call, which means at any given moment, any given time in each small zone, there are 50 people in a voice chat chasing federal agents.
แต่กระจายไปที่ไหนบ้างยังไม่รู้
This quasi-police force uses a system called Salute, which calls out the size of federal units, activity, locations, uniforms, times, and locations. They then instruct their ICE chasers to follow and confront ICE agents at their known locations. So they're compelling people to go and confront, get involved, get up in their face, get your body in between, get your car in between, block traffic. They are everywhere, and local police are cooperating. Here, an observer calls out a possible agent, but says she's just out walking her dog, so she can't continue on. Dispatch called for backup. Also below is a message indicating that local PD may get involved if ICE, quote...
จะบอกว่า9 billion มันเยอะขนาดไหนนี่มีศูนย์กี่ตัวนับดิตรงเนี้ยคือ9 ล้านบาทใช่ไหมตรงนี้1,000 ล้านตรงนี้289,000 ล้านบาทไทยบาททำอะไรกันจะจอมืดเหรอ
Unhinged whistling in the background. The protesters use a, quote, mutual aid system. I tried to join the mutual aid system for Bloomington. An admin told me that it was a vetted chat for teachers.
Yeah. คุณครู
It's a vetted chat for teachers. And that I would need to describe my relationship to a school. Are you a teacher, a principal, a counselor? And then give his real name. So they've got teachers, Minneapolis teachers, members, working in the academic system. Part of this. He wouldn't do that, so he couldn't make it into that group chat. ICE chasers, the operations last all night. The dispatch call is 24/7. These are messages screenshotted at 2 a.m. asking for observers at a location with potential illegals. It's from a vetted chat called Wolfpack. The Wolfpack. They're asking for backup. We need more observers. We need more chasers. The coordinators frequently delete messages to cover their own tracks. This is another layer of security on top of the daily chat refreshes. The message was deleted. I wonder what he posted. Must have been something crazy. Must have been crazy enough to delete. On top of every single day deleting the entire chat log. Here is an admin list and an administrator list for several chats. These generally consist of code names. They're using code names. Loco Tio Dave. The report card. Emu. Motoko. Aguacate. So they're using code names to conceal their identities. And so that's that. Now, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, I've got something else I want to show you here. Cam Higbee went on to post, he said, here is the entire training manual. Listen up here, folks. Now we have the entire training manual for domestic terrorist patrols that have been chasing ICE agents in Minneapolis. Keep in mind, this is the watered down OPSEC, operational security version. We have a video. Let's go ahead and take a listen to this. So it's all saved in a looks like a Google Drive, a cloud storage. It's just page after page after page of protocol. How to behave, what to do. If this happens, then you should do this. If that happens, you should do that. Step by step by step. How many pages is this? I don't know. This goes on for 26 seconds. How to navigate the group chat. Identifying abductors and vehicles. Chat information. Look at this here. Step by step. Arrive on scene. Look for ICE. Issue a salute for abduction. How to conduct a foot patrol. What to bring. Bring a buddy or two. Bring a fully charged phone and a car charger if you have it. Turn off biometrics. Turn off your biometric detection software on side of your phone so that you can't be. This is so that if like their phone gets subpoenaed or something, they have preemptively turned off the biometrics. Wow. These people know what they're doing. And you know what's crazy? They call us brown shirts. These people are out here on the streets saying, ICE, you're a brown shirt. If you voted for Trump, you're a Nazi. Look at this. We have the proof. It's all in front of our face here. This is insane. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I've got something else I want to show you here. Other independent investigators have been sifting through these lists of names. You saw that big list of names. Well, some individuals, big name individuals, have already been identified. I want to introduce you to some of them here. A woman named Amanda Kohler, who is a former Tim Walz campaign strategist, has been identified as one of the administrators of this group, a former Tim Walz campaign strategist, working with the Tim Walz administration campaign. Is one of the key leaders of this group, directly with the group. So he has not been identified as being in the group himself, but messages from the group have confirmed he's working with the group regardless. That has been exposed. We also have seen numerous Tim Walz campaign staffers and political operatives linked up with Tim Walz are inside the group. Numerous Minnesota state representatives like State Representative Alex Falconer and Representative Brad Papke, Democrats, Minnesota state reps, are in this group. Allegedly. This is all coming out. Independent journalists. Numerous Minneapolis City Council members, allegedly Jason Chavez, is now been reported as being a part of this group. Allegedly. It's all independent journalists are now reporting on this. It's coming out. It's all over Twitter right now. So, ladies and gentlemen, you want to talk about insurrection? This is what insurrection looks like. Because keep in mind, what is the purpose? What are they doing here? This is not a club. It's not a hobby club. Okay, they're not knitting quilts. This group, thousands of people, members of the Minnesota state government, city council, campaign assistants, state representatives, all up and down. And these are just the ones we know about. God knows how many other people that we haven't identified yet. Their purpose here is to undermine, subvert, and hinder legal, lawful, federal law enforcement operations. That is what they are doing, designed to undermine what these federal law enforcement officers are doing. FBI, CBP, ICE, DHS, all of them. They want to stop this. We're talking big time, serious federal crimes. And so right now we've seen President Trump, he has subpoenaed, or the Trump DOJ has subpoenaed Walz and Keith Ellison, Attorney General Keith Ellison, Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Fry. We know that there's an ongoing FBI and also DOJ investigation into all of this. We need more subpoenas. I'll tell you what, if we want to really make America great again and seriously put America first, we have got to shut this down. Now, ladies and gentlemen, at this point, what I would love to do is go ahead and take a look at the super chats. I want to see what you lovely folks in the audience have to say about all of this in Rumble and on YouTube. If you're new here, do me a favor, make sure to like and to subscribe. I appreciate that a lot. Listen, the stakes are very high. This is serious. We're not playing games anymore. Amateur hour is over. We need Trump to crack down on this stuff. We cannot let this fly. We cannot let this fly. All right, I'm booting up the super chats here. I think I've got them up, everybody. Thank you all for tuning in on this beautiful, lovely Sunday. Now, ladies and gentlemen, think back to 45 minutes ago when I went on a long, heated rant about how we cannot give these people an inch. Do you kind of understand where I'm coming from now? These people are anarchists. These people are communists. These people are defying the democratic will of all of us Americans. They couldn't give a shit about how we voted. We voted for Trump. They don't care about the democratic mandate that we issued in the 2024 election. They don't care about federal law. These people don't care about borders. These people, their goal, their stated purpose is to flood this country with as many third world criminally delinquent, illegal alien rapists, human traffickers, homicidal psychopaths as they possibly can. We do not give these people an inch. Cut it out. Stop playing coverage for these people. You guys got to cut it out. I still see it sometimes. Get with the times. The fate of the republic is at stake. We listen, at this point, I need everybody here to understand just how close we are to losing everything. This country is we're sitting on a razor's edge right now. We could go either way. It's too early to tell. We might go that way, this way. We got to take the country back. And the only way, we got to shut this stuff down. Now we have a big super chat here from Vander X. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Super chat here from Gary's Metal Detecting.
Super chat แล้ว
He says not justified but lawful because in the commission.
ก็วันนี้ไปโบสถ์มาพาสเตอร์บาทหลวงก็บอกว่าสถิติของคนที่ติดยาที่เมืองไบรตันที่รัฐอยู่นะที่พี่อยู่ตั้งแต่ปี2007หรือ2017หรือสักอย่างเพิ่ม 1,000% ที่เมืองเนี่ยแล้วก็คนที่แบบมีปัญหาทางสุขภาพจิตฆ่าตัวตายเพิ่มสูงขึ้นเรื่อยๆเยอะมากก็ดีใจนะที่ไม่ได้เอาลูก คงเป็นห่วงเยอะเลยโอเคไว้คุยกันใหม่นะทุกคนเดี๋ยวก็ที่ขึ้นช่วงนี้เพราะว่ามันมีข่าวแบบกังวลว่าจะมีสงครามไหมอะไรไหมนะการเมืองช่วงนี้กำลังรุนแรงมากนะก็อาจจะขึ้นอีกถ้ามันมีเหตุอะไรพวกนี้นะโอเคไปกัดนะไปขายของกันนะไปแพ็คของก่อนแม่จะโทรมาก็โทรมานะคะเดี๋ยวลงไลน์แล้วก็โทรได้เลยนะคะบ๊ายบายนะทุกคนคุณหญิงไม่เสร็จสักทีโอเคไปแล้วนะบ๊ายบายขอบคุณนะใครอยากจะฟังเรื่องอะไรก็บอกมานะเดี๋ยวมาขึ้นใหม่บ๊ายบายจ้ะ